You've got your jacket on. You ready for them?
Yeah, I've got my telescope, my homemade telescope.
You look like a minion.
Huh?
You look like a minion.
A minion. Oh, banana, banana.
Banana.
You don't need to make a telescope with lenses. Just use a bog roll. It's great. I can see just
Why
like
have you got bog roll? Why have you got bog roll in the workshop? In case you take.
Because I ran out of kitchen roll. I need to clean my airbrush. I can't see now. I've got my lens cap on. Oh no! I've gone white. I think we're on.
While Fox plays pirates, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday night's eModels live stream from me, Ted. I'll sit down there, and him over there. Good evening, Fox.
Hello. Everything's working. I've got a computer. I've got the internet. So everything's fine. Shh, don't discuss anything. Don't even mention it. Shh.
Yeah. We won't talk about. The fact that my internet, that thing that goes down the telephone lines, which we won't mention, it actually packed up working today.
Don't tempt the wrath of the whatever from high atop the thing, Ted.
Yeah, I think it's because my contract has ended with the company that I'm with. I'm sure they're watching or listening. And when you start ringing around other companies to say, can you provide me with the thing down the telephone line that we won't mention in case it goes off? I think that they start pulling fast ones and they start sort of turning it off or messing with it. They know that you're looking elsewhere and they just try to get you to phone up and say, it's not working. So that they can then turn around and say, well, we can fix it for you, but how about staying with us for another 14 years and buying a new
marketing techniques, upselling. I've done those jobs. Trust me, it's hell.
Yeah. So it does happen, does it? Yeah. They turn it off, and then you have to phone them up and say it's not working. Or we'll fix it, but buy this as well.
While we've got you on, I noticed that you're looking at moving house. So, no. No.
You're sworn to secrecy. You've signed the Official Secrets Act and them things. Once you leave the job, it leaves the mind.
Ted, both you and I have signed the Official Secrets Act for real, but there you go.
Yeah, we have.
That's as much as we can say about that.
Yeah, and I bet I've done a lot more secret things than you have.
Yeah, probably.
It's that time where there's an astronaut as well that I can't talk about either.
Yeah, you've mentioned it now. Space.
Yeah, I think I've got away with it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, welcome again to the eModels live stream. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. As usual, it'll be just mayhem, fun, and lots of questions that we probably have to think about and talk about. And we will have some giveaways. I've got a package that has arrived from eModels this week to give away as well. We've got last week's winner to announce. We did have a prize last week, didn't we?
Yes. Can you remember what it was?
It was your Land Rover, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, not my personal Land Rover, because that's down in Derbyshire somewhere. Up in Derbyshire.
Yeah. We have drawn the winner in a random name picker thingy. What's it online? Earlier, just before the show started. So we'll announce that later on. We'll have a look in store. We'll have mention of the Black Friday, which is coming up for this week. Coming up on Friday, strangely.
It's a strange coincidence.
There's a bit of a clue there when it's going to happen.
Very clever. They call it Black Friday and they actually put it on a Friday. It's like marketing genius.
I wonder why they chose a Friday, though. Why not a Black Saturday?
Yeah.
Never mind. TK's got it already. We get stickers. Yes, TK. Yeah, they are the package that arrived from eModels is stickers, so I'll be giving some stickers away. And the mug will go away as well. And will the phone ring? We don't know.
You have to stay to the very end of the stream till we press the stop broadcasting button, because you never know. Yeah, you must be a maid might phone up and say, give something away, give this thing away.
But isn't it karaoke night in the yacht club tonight?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dennis behind the bar.
No, I think it's big. Never mind what she's called.
Step away from that one, Tedward.
I nearly said, yeah. No, if he could drag himself away from the karaoke at the yacht club, and his hair isn't too yachtish.
Well, it depends. If he started singing "Nothing Compares to You," that's like a 45-minute run at the best of times. So,
yeah. So yeah, so we'll see if the phone rings, and we'll see if there's another giveaway. Yeah. Right, it's up to you guys. It's your chat. It's up to you to ask questions. You guys lead the way usually, and we sort of follow along with you, and we get chatting and things like that. If you've got questions, don't forget to put them in bold. Is that right?
Bold? No.
Oh, capitals. Capitals.
Yes, if you want to ask a question, because the chat moves massively fast, type them in all capitals so we can see them. Or if you want to, we do have the super chat option. There's a little $sign just underneath where you type the thing. If you really want to, you can pay a couple of quid and your comment will be all highlighted in blue and big bold, and we'll see it a mile away. Yeah, it's completely optional. You don't have to do that, but it's nice if you do.
Yeah. Or if you're not watching and you can't get through to the chat because you're watching on a link on a tablet or an iPhone or something like that, you can send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. I almost know it off by heart now.
Ted. I know, it's almost like you work there or something.
Yeah.
Ted, if you're watching on a device that doesn't support chat, or you're watching through the eModels website, emodels.co.uk/live, where you can see this every week. If you want to join in the chat, just click on the little YouTube icon at the bottom right of the player, and that will take to the eModels YouTube page where you'll be watching this, and the chat will be there. It's not on every single device. Some mobile devices, it doesn't support chat. So,
yeah, I watched something. Yeah, it just come through the. It just come through the iPhone. You can get it on the iPhone, but not.
Yeah, it depends if you're using an app or the actual website. I think if you use the app, it doesn't always give you chat.
Well, that's it. So there's plenty of ways to get in touch, ask your questions. But if you think of something after we've gone, you can always email it, and we'll pick it up for next week as well. Somebody was asking if the stickers are waterproof, so I can display them on my car. Yeah, they are. They're a vinyl,
I think, aren't they? So.
Yeah, they're a vinyl, so you can display them on your car. They should stay there for fairly long.
Yep.
Fairly long time. But if you don't get a chance to enter, or you don't win a sticker tonight, you can get them from the eModels store. Just send them a contact form asking for a sticker, or if you're putting an order in, I should say, if you're putting an order in, just ask them to add a sticker as well, and they'll throw one in for you.
Yeah, so, Nick McVeigh says, if I pay for a question and it doesn't get answered, do I get a refund? No. We will answer it, don't worry.
We will do our best. We won't ignore the blue ones.
Yes, if you've done a super question or super chat, whatever it's called, yes, we'll spot that a mile away. So
yeah,
but they're just like a little fun thing. They're completely optional. And like Chris said, like Chris at Gross Model says, you have to pay to ask that question. Yeah. Remember, of course, if you're in the chat, you've got Chris, Gross Models, and TK's Models doing your modding. Be nice to your mods, and they'll be nice to you. Should we get on with the show, Ted? We've done all the preamble for like 10 minutes now.
We're going around in circles now. It's one of them tape loops. Am I in focus, by the way?
Probably not. I wouldn't change it.
Am I fuzzy around the edges?
Always, Ted. Always. Your public expects it.
I think we're going for that. Don Gilchrist says, is that the Windermere Bonus Club? I think it's on about the yacht club. However, it's a bit strange to be a yacht club in Stoke-on-Trent.
Shh! Don't tell them. They might stop going. The landlord will be like, "Shut up! Don't tell them that."
Maybe it's just a club with lots of pictures of yachts.
They just seem to get lost on the way to the quayside.
Yeah.
Question for you here, Ted, from Jared B. He says, if the Spitfire was the best plane ever designed, which it was, you're correct. Well done. You win 2 internets. If the Spitfire was the best plane ever designed by a man, what was the best tank?
Right.
You've stumped him.
Yeah, I've got to think about this because there's quite a few.
There's one or two, yes.
The best, because probably there was so many variants of it, would have been maybe the Sherman, the Second World War tank, something like that. I think the best modern tank would be the Challenger, the British Challenger. People may disagree, but that's what I think about. I know that the Challenger tank has lots of secret stuff about it, and I was watching a program last night that I'm sure will be talked about sometime this evening. Apparently there's never been a Challenger tank lost to enemy action, whether that's right or not, but I think the Sherman for the Second World War, because there was so many variants and it was quite a successful tank. Yeah,
It was also like completely hopeless at getting hit and exploding. But
yeah, that's my view. Gaz Vickers says Chieftain. Scott Sutherland agrees. Challenge 2. Yeah. So yeah, Centurion. Yeah, that was maybe a sort of the sort of changeover between the late war tanks and the modern day tanks. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of an evolutionary change going on there.
Vincent from Mr. Less Model Making says the Leopard 2A6.
The German Leopard. Yeah.
I can hear myself on your speakers, by the way, Ted.
Right. I tell you what, I shall.
Have you turned it up?
I haven't touched anything. I think maybe you're talking louder.
No,
you're all excited. Yeah, you've got yourself all excited, and no, should be all right now.
This is where something goes wrong now, isn't it?
Oh, there we are.
Yay! I was expecting like your microphone not to work or something.
Right, everything else. Are we still here? We're still live?
Yes, I think we're still live.
Yeah, I plugged something in, and we're still going strong. Good. Let's keep it that way. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
Gaz Vickers says non-loss to enemy action. Chobham armor for the win.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a super secret armor, and apparently the guys that drive the tanks don't even know what's in it.
There is actually a Gumpler that includes Chobham armor.
Oh,
there you go. Always comes back to Gumpler.
Right. I wonder if eModels will get that one.
Don't know. They'll get some. We're still not news on that, by the way. We're still getting Gumpler, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We're still waiting.
I have some ideas, but nothing I'm able to announce. But I'm quite excited. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, have you got your checkbook at the ready? Is the pen warm?
1990s. Hello.
Is the pen warmed up?
Blankety blank. Checkbook and pen.
Yeah,
do you know? I actually went on eBay once and was tempted to buy a genuine blankety blank checkbook and pen. I didn't in the end, but I was like, I nearly bought one. Proper Terry Wogan era blankety blank checkbook and pen. I was sorely tempted, but I didn't.
Right, sorry, I've just.
Alan from Northwest Modeler says, "What is Chobham armor?"
Armor made in Chobham.
Hooray! Well done. Thanks for watching. See you all next week. If I remember rightly, Ted, is it not a special system whereby you have 2 layers of metal, and then it's like corrugated cardboard inside? You have like wiggly bits on the inside that are almost corrugated. It's in layers, so it's more.
Yeah, it's
take the impact and crumple and not.
It's sort of a reactive armor, isn't it? It's not like an explosive.
It's like an ablative armor, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I don't think it explodes like some of the armor on tanks, but it's a specially designed formula for armor. And as the guys were saying on that Guy Martin thing last night, it's all top secret.
Yeah. But if I remember right, it's some kind of, it's like, I read somewhere, it's like kind of corrugated thing. You've got 2 layers and then a wiggly thing inside, like crumpled up. It's something like that. It's all honeycomb structure. So it's all super secret.
Yeah.
Scott Sutherland says basically layers of different types of metals and ceramics.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the ceramics are the secret to it, aren't they?
Yeah, so. Tony Black says layers of bed springs. Griff MJ says sandwich.
Yeah.
Sandwich.
Sandwich.
Chris and Gross Model says, ooh, like armor lasagna.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Sandwich. Yeah, you get a layer of that and a layer of that and a layer of that. Get armor.
Adrian David says, Gumpler Fox need a large loan of money. Yeah, not from me. Good luck with that one. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, well, while we're on the subject, anybody that did watch Guy Martin last night, I see that tank that they built was actually with the help of an actual scale modeler. There was a guy that, for those of you who didn't see it, there was a guy from Germany who decided that the models that are out there weren't good enough for him. So he actually produced a perfect scale model, CAD model of a First World War Mark V tank, and it was from that these guys were able to build a full-size real thing. So good on that guy. So yeah, so the us modelers strike again.
I shouldn't at this point start the fury in the chat by pointing out I still don't know who this guy is.
No, yeah. Well, we need to. Yeah, you need to go and Google Guy Martin. Yeah, he was. He was. I think he's still racing. He still races in the Isle of Man TT, and he's pretty famous for motorcycle racing. Not that I'm into motorcycle racing, but that's where I picked up his past from.
I'm not a watcher of the TTs, so I would have no
Yeah,
knowledge of such things.
Yeah, I'm not a motorcycle fan or anything like that, so I'm sure you guys will be sucking behind your teeth.
Yeah. The only sport I ever watched in my entire life was wrestling on ITV and World of Sport when I was a kid, and that's because it was Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. Other than that,
yeah,
no interest in sport.
Good evening, grapple fans, and welcome to.
You've got the moustache for it, Ted.
Yeah, welcome to Blackpool Town. Yeah, but they had that microphone, didn't it? Sort of good evening, grapple fans.
Grapple fans. When I was a kid, we used to go to Pontins in Blackpool every summer, Pontins holiday camp, and they actually had one day they had a wrestling ring set up, and they actually had Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks were there just for fun, you know, having a wrestling match. It was like, wow, I was like 6, 7 years old. I was like, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting back to the 80s again, aren't we?
If you went to Pontins, you'd go in the knobbly knees contest.
Yes, there was the glamorous granny, there was knobbly knees.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's fun memories. I actually went to Blackpool last year with some of my family just on a day trip, and we went past because it was like I haven't been there on holiday when we were kids. I haven't been there for like 30 years, and we went past where Pontins used to be. There's a road goes right along the beach, and there used to be Pontins holiday camp just between Blackpool and Fleetwood. Fleetwood.
Is it? No, it's the other end, isn't it?
No, Lytham St Anne's. Blackpool, Lytham St Anne's, not Fleetwood. And it was right there. It was just on, and you used to walk out the camp, go across the road, and you're on the beach. We walked past, and it's just flat. There's nothing there. It's just gone. It's been demolished. Just open ground. I was heartbroken.
Yeah. One wonders of all the things that went on that bit of land.
I know. It's like you used to, when you were there in the camp, you used to be able to pay like, I don't know, it was like £1.50 to rent a bicycle for the week, and you get like a chopper. It was great. Riding the chopper around in the Pontins holiday camp. Fond memories.
Yes, there was going back to Guy Martin. Guy Martin, I think I said it to you before. He was famous for his crashes. Yeah, Steve Shades.
Alan at Northwest Modeler says Blackpool and St Anne's. That's it, St Anne's.
That's it. Yeah.
St Anne's was halfway between the two.
Yeah, St Anne's was the posh end, wasn't it?
Yeah, St Anne's was the nice bit.
Yeah.
Blackpool was the tawdry bit. He does also say, "Thank God they knocked down the Pontins in Blackpool." I'm sure as an adult, I'd look at it now and be like, "What the hell?" But when I was like 7 years old, it was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it was great then. Yeah, it was great.
Get on the beach, get all the little dunes, and get your little action figures, and you'd be playing in the dunes. And I've lost so many. If anybody ever goes there and finds like I don't know, there's like a whole mess of action figures buried in the sand on there somewhere from when I was like 7. There's an action man under the sand somewhere from when I was 7. We're doing it again, aren't we, Ted?
We're rambling again. Adrian David
Alan says no. Lytham is the posh bit. Lytham St Anne's is the posh bit.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yes, I went there once. The tide was out.
Tide was on. Switch.
Adrian David said, "Fox, what was your favourite toy when you watched World of Sport?" You must have been at that age. Yeah.
What? When I was like 6 or 7 years old. See, my favourite toy was Action Man, but not.
I was just going to say, you must have been reading my mind. Yeah, I was into Action Man, into Action Man.
But not the namby-pamby Eco Warrior bright orange coloured nonsense you get nowadays. I had 2 Action Men, and I had one vehicle. No, I had 2 vehicles. I had a Jeep, a Willys Jeep, which was huge and brilliant, and I had a flatbed truck with a full tilt, which had the frame and you had the tilt go over it and stuff. And I could do Raids of the Lost Ark because you could put a guy in the cab and you could have the other Action Man hanging off the front and going underneath, and I'd have this little crate in the back that was the Ark of the Covenant. It was great when you're like 9, 10 years old. So I had that, but I had 2 Action Men. One of them was in World War II American paratrooper outfit. So then, the M1943, the boots, the pants, everything, all the webbing. And the other guy was in World War II Wehrmacht outfit. So the green uniform, the little iron cross and all the medals and the helmet and the MP40, they were proper action men when they were actually proper soldiers, not this namby-pamby eco-warrior jet ski nonsense that you get nowadays.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, you could buy your Action Man in a full outfit, couldn't you? There was a Red Devil, so I had one of them. I used to go up with grandma's, who lived on the flats on Barrow Island. Used to throw it off the top floor, and the parachute wouldn't open, so it just crashed to the ground.
Yeah. But my favourite outfit with all of them was the German uniform because it was brilliant. It was so detailed.
Yeah.
It had all the medals. It had the little sort of the band for the medal on the side there. It had all the medals with little pins that you could sort of pin above the top breast pocket, and they just go above it. And it's like brilliant. The helmet and it's brilliant, fantastic.
And did you ever have the Frogman? That was an actual rubber suit. And
yes, I used to play with it bath because it worked as a wetsuit.
Yeah, you could never get it on or off.
Yeah. I also had a spaceman at one point.
No, I didn't do the space.
It wasn't very good. It was like a crumply thing. It wasn't really good, that one.
I did have the guy on a horse, the horse guards or whatever they were. I had him with his big shiny helmet and breastplate and things like that. You know.
Oh yeah, the proper
Yeah, Tony Black says, would we say Action Man was 1 to 6 scale? I think it is 1 to 6 scale.
Yeah, it probably was about that. I think.
Yeah. Because I
think Dragon do figures nowadays that are about the same size, and I think 1 to 6.
Yeah.
It's like the 1970s version of realistic Dragon figures. Dragon do some amazing figures now. Their World War II figures are amazing, but they're very expensive.
Yeah. Shadowland Scale Model says his favourite Action Man was the suit, was a deep sea diver with lead boots. Yeah, he had them big boots, didn't he? And the big brass looking helmet.
Michael Jackman says it's moved. It moved too fast. Stephen Dawson says he has the action. He had teeth. Stephen, I'll start that again. I'm sorry. Again. Stephen Dawson says, I had Action Man empty box. My dad said he was an Action Man deserter.
Yeah.
Because I just fluffed that so much, it just killed it, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it worked. Yeah, you got it to work in the end. But as time went on, and it was Palatoy originally, wasn't it? Was it Palatoy? So.
But in the end, it just because I grew up in the 70s when kids used to play war, and it was all Germans versus the Allies and stuff. But as it moved away from that in the 80s and 90s, and it just became like eco warrior nonsense and superhero crap, and it's not the same.
Well, they tried to stop kids playing with guns and things like that.
Yeah, it just became boring.
Yeah, but it was an introduction to history, I suppose, because it probably generated an interest from the kids to find out what it was all about.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, I was only born 30 years after World War II, so 25 years after World War II.
Most of the times your parents or grandparents will have been in the wars and fought them and coming back and telling you stories about things like that. Yeah, so that's what it was all about. Yeah, but there's lots of toys out there. Alan David said he had a $6 million man.
I had one. I used to have a $6 million man and a Maskatron, where you could take the face off and replace it with the face of him or the Goldberg guy or the characters. Maskatron, there's a name I've just remembered off the top of my head.
I can't remember that one. No, I didn't really get into that. I was growing up by then. Christopher Thompson says, Ted Fox, everyone, this is for you guys as well. He has the 12-inch Stingray.
But I don't think he means the Stingray or the car or the
Stingray submarine.
Stingray. Sorry.
So, does anybody know of a larger version? So, anything can happen in the next half hour.
And it probably will. I'm not aware of it. I didn't even know there was a model available of it.
Yeah, I think that. I do know there is a 12-inch model. I don't know of a bigger one. I don't know if it's as a kit. I have seen radio control ones, but whether they're scratch built or come from a kit, I have no idea.
Big vacuum form or fiberglass.
Yeah, something like that. I'd probably reproduce quite well in vacuum form, wouldn't it? So if anybody knows of a larger than 12-inch Stingray, does anybody know of a larger version? That was the one with Marina, isn't it?
Marina,
Aquamarina. Call it Marina.
Everybody had massive hands, eyebrows. Steve Shed Scale Model says he had not only Action Man and not only $6 million man, but there's one other one we forgot that I had as well. Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel.
Yeah, I had an Evil Knievel. Get your knuckles scraped on the ground when you wind him up. It's great because you use that thing where you ride him off about 3 times and that's it.
Yeah.
After that, I just used to use it as an action figure.
What I did have was
I had the truck as well. I had the mobile truck where you had all the tools and stuff, and you take the sides off to make ramps. I had that as well. It was great.
Yeah, Wayne Hayward said the 70s were the best years for toys. I think they probably were.
I mean, if you look back at them now, and you got one in front of you, you'd probably realise it's probably really crap quality.
Yeah.
But then again, they were awesome when you were 7 or 8 years old.
I think there was a lot.
Action Man didn't have underpants.
Yeah, why didn't he have underpants?
Because we were hardcore in the 1970s, and when we got all la-di-da in the 80s, and they thought we'd better put underpants on him because it's rude.
Yeah, that part of the anatomy became a different colour, didn't it?
Yeah, they gave him blue underpants.
That's it, yeah.
Spud Gunn says, Chris Smith, we're doing it already, Ted. We've just gone into the 1980s. We need to just back away from this and get all this stuff done first.
Yeah, but yeah, I reckon in the 70s, the toys, the games had more play value.
Yeah, you could get proper toy guns that look like toy guns.
Yeah, and you actually went out to play. You went out in the fresh air and things.
Many hours were spent falling out of trees when I was a child.
Anyway, we digress.
Yes, we'll get back to the 80s stuff later because we'll be here for like 4 hours.
We'll carry on this conversation shortly. We'll look at the 80s. Right,
we've done the 80s night already, but
right. Good day, Ted, says Paul Isles. I've got an email coming, by the way. That's what I'm reading from. Good day, Ted.
Hi, bro.
Hi, bro. I have to give a wood effect to the plastic cutty sack.
There's another rite of passage model.
Yeah, cutty sack. Ooh, the cutty sack. Yeah, i.e. the rail, pin rails, etc. How do I go about it in 196 scale? Well, that's a good scale for the cutty sack. That's going to be huge.
Wait, hang on. What scale?
196.
Blimey, right, that is going to be big.
That is going to be big. Is that radio controlled, Paul? I know that people do radio controlled tall ships. Be interesting if it is. But no, it's a plastic cutty sack, so it's probably a kit.
It might be the old Airfix or Revell, I guess.
Yeah. What I could suggest is that you just have a look at the Wood Effects kits from MiG and AK. They're pretty good. They start with a base colour, usually a dark brown, and then you go over the top in a lighter brown. I think I've got one here. I think I showed it a little while ago. I've got the one for tools, but it works just the same.
Oh, hello, banging the camera. Earthquake.
Yeah.
There's been a local earthquake in Cumbria located on one house.
This is the tool colour kit, but you can get one that's an actual wood kit. And the tool colours all, as you can see here, they do the wooden handles and such on the tools. And it works just the same for painting wood. Usually start with a base colour, a red-brown, something like that. And then you can go over them in a selection of different coloured woods. Light wood, old wood, they do look the same, but when they're onto the dark brown base, they do work quite well.
Of course, being an ammo product, it has the amusing name of tools colours, not tool colours.
Yeah,
that's why I love ammo. I love the slightly quirky English they use. I think it's brilliant.
So it's a matter of using browns, reds, dark browns, and sort of blending them. Use it's a good idea if you can use a wet palette. Good for blending your colours. Get the right colour for the wood that you want, and just do it that way.
Von Holdinghausen. I can't say that without doing my hello accent. Von Holdinghausen, the chalice from the palace. He says there are these days actual wooden decks in production for the Revell 196 cutty sack.
Oh, well, there you go. Then.
Worth having a look online. Having a look and see if you can get a third-party wooden deck.
I'm going to have a look at that kit. 196 cutty sack. That's massive.
Yeah, because it was the Airfix one. I think we've all made one of those way back in the day. But if it's a Revell one, I've not seen that one.
No, I've not seen it. I'm going to have to. Yeah. You've piqued my interest in that. I should go and have a look.
Yes. Adrian Davies says if the ship's that big, you could just use thin plywood.
That's an idea. Yeah. You can go to some.
Score it with a sharp blade to get the plank effect.
Yeah.
You've still got then colour it and texture, haven't you? So. Yeah. It might be better to get a wooden deck for it because they're usually pre-coloured and textured to look like wood.
Yeah, stain it then. If you get the thin ply, usually comes in a birch ply, which is quite this sort of colour. It usually comes like that, but it does take wood stain quite well, and you can use the ordinary mahogany type carpenter's wood stains. It works quite well. I used to do it quite a bit on my radio control models when I was building them. So yeah, good. Yeah. So right, that's that one. Hopefully we answered that for you, Paul. If not, drop us another line and we'll fill you in with some more details.
Do you remember in the chat to throw us lots of questions because we depend on you to give us content to talk about for 2 hours? Your questions if you can capital letters.
Whoa, hang on. Are you planning to do 2 hours again?
No. I just know what you're like when you get on about the 80s. When we
Yeah.
get going about the 80s, and
It's like one of them old men, isn't it? When you wind them up, yeah. Tell us about the war, Grandad. Well, lad, in my day, yeah.
when it were gone, when I was a lad, it were grand.
Yeah, you always did that before when Grandad was sitting. When Grandad was babysitting, it was time for bed. It was tell us about the war, Grandad. Oh, what did you do at work today, Grandad? Yeah. Oh well, sit yourself down, lad. Oh
Yeah, sit
well,
down and we'll talk for the next 5 hours.
I never went to bed. All right. So that's how we go in here. Yeah, it's up to you guys. You guys give us the questions, we answer them, or you guys start the chat. Just winds us up, keeps us going.
Yeah, Griff MJ says another rite of passage kit is the Airfix 15th Hussars on a horse. On horseback. I've never built those. I've never done the sort of historical figures type kits.
No, I always thought I do remember them. There was Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn. There was a Coldstream Guard, I think, was there? And there was a couple of other kits. I always thought they were girly at the time, so I never got round to building it.
Yeah, I've never been a big figure modeling. See, now I've started like dabbling into fiddle modeling. Yes, I model small violins. Dabbling into figure modeling with my Warhammers. I might at some point get into that. We do have a question, an interesting, most important question. From Shadowland Scale Models. Question, he says, how would you go about introducing your new partner, male or female, he or she, to the fact that you are a scale modeler? With an aspect, with the intention of obviously keeping them as your partner. Obviously.
Yeah, and they're not thinking you're a geek and off to go. It's often a question that's very similar to when you go, when you introduce somebody and they ask, oh, what do you do for it? What do you do in your time off? I build models. It sounds a bit odd.
Well, I just I'm a YouTuber. There you go. That's a bit glamorous. The thing is, model making isn't quite the stigma that used to be. It's not like you're saying I collect, I make model trains, or I'm a train spotter or something like that. It's not really seen the same way anymore. There's a bit more cool to the model making world nowadays, especially if you make Gunpla.
You could tell your prospective partner that you're a miniaturist.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I'm a miniaturist. I build things in scale.
That could backfire when they go, yeah, you're not wrong there. But moving on.
You could tell them you're a miniaturist, and then when they want to delve deeper and ask more, you could sort of say, well, I have an eye for fine detail and such, things like that.
Adrian David says he's got a 60s Beetle and he's not certain of a good colour. I'll tell you my favourite colour for a VW Beetle. And I know this because I've got it on my Ford Fiesta, the exact colour. It's, I've forgotten the name now. Gulf Blue. I forgot the name then. Gulf Blue. It's a light blue colour. And you can kind of make it by taking some Tamiya medium blue and adding white to it. Now, I only know this because when we rat rodded my car, we very specifically used two certain colours. We used Ipanema Brown for the under rust coat, which is a lacquer based, and we wanted a water-based paint to go over the top so we could scuff it off and make paint chips. And we did some research, and an original Volkswagen colour was called Gulf Blue, and it's a water-based paint, so it was perfect for what we needed. And it's, as a car paint, it's naturally matte, and then you put your gloss coat over the top. So Gulf Blue is a nice pale blue colour. So that's my suggestion. Unless you're making a rusty one, in which case rust really works when you've got a yellow base colour. So I'd say some kind of yellow colour might work if you're doing a rusty battered one.
I was going to say orange. An orange, that was a 60s type colour, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It might not. I don't know if it was a standard Beetle colour there, but at the end of the day, it's whatever colour you think looks the funkiest. Just have fun with it. But I personally like Gulf Blue on old Beetles.
Or the Herbie type colour, an old English white.
That's just, I think it was like an off-white with like a bone colour.
I think on a mini, colour. I think on a mini it was old English white.
Tony Black says zero paints do a Herbie Pearl White. So you just answered that question there.
Oh well.
Sergeant Bone says pumpkin orange.
Pumpkin orange.
Griffin J says puke green.
Yeah, there were really some strange colours in the 80s. Remember that wallpaper? Orange and brown.
Yeah. Mike Hornsey says he told his wife he builds model airplanes and then showed up with a 10-foot B-25. I think that's a good make it or break it, because at that point, if you get away with it, she's a keeper. If you don't get away with it, yeah, you've escaped. You're safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, she thinks where they're going to put that.
No, there's nothing. You do the Jedi mind trick. You don't need to concern yourself with such matters.
Right.
New Street TMD says something, but it got retracted, so I don't know what it was.
New Street TMD.
No swearing, no naughtiness, please. Be nice.
Yeah.
A little bit of fun, but don't get too. I don't know what
it carries on further down. It does ask again whether it was wrong. Our views on using photo etch or not.
Absolutely. If the kit comes with photo etch, or you've got the option of third-party photo etch parts, absolutely.
Yeah,
because they allow for a lot more detail and fine detail than molding in plastic.
Yeah,
they're a pig to use sometimes, but
you will learn to swear. You'll have some.
If you don't know how to swear, you will learn to swear. You could join the Royal Navy after a couple of days. Yeah, absolutely. If you've got the option of third-party parts or they're in the kit, go for it. For things like grills and railings and things like that on ships, for example, or grills on tanks and other things, absolutely brilliant. And you get a lot of planes where they have their photo etch cockpits, so you can use they usually come with a plastic one, which you can use if you want, or photo etch one, which have all the holes drilled out, so you can put the dials inside and you fold them into shape. Can be fiddly and it can be a pain, but they look fantastic.
Sorry, I was just having a look at another.
Tony Black says, "Tell her you take photos of models." Yeah, that might not go down too well.
Yeah.
Adrian Davis says, "What about the inside of the Beetle?"
Brown or black. Black vinyl.
Don't forget they did like a cream leather as well. Your best bet, to be honest, is go online and have a look at some photos of old vehicles and see, because there'll be all the original sort of color schemes and interiors anyway. But there'll also be people that have done them up recently over the last 10, 15 years, and they'll have put modern leather and things in there. So you might get some good ideas. Google is your friend.
I could also remember that in the 60s, cars were always black vinyl seats, and they either scalded your backs of your legs off as you sat down in the heat of summer, or they were freezing cold in winter.
Yeah, if you're a kid and you get in a car with vinyl seats and you're wearing short trousers, yeah. And it's something I'd forgotten about until I got my Series 3 Land Rover 10 years ago and got into it for the first time I'd ever got into it on a hot sunny day. And bearing in mind, it's basically 2 blocks of foam covered in vinyl, fake leatherette. I was wearing some shorts, got into it, and I'm like, I haven't felt this for a long time. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. You remember not to do that again.
It was basically a giant greenhouse. So if a normal car was warm, it was seriously hot. Michael Jackerman says, "Got to use photo etch on ships. It's the only way to get the railings right."
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's not a lot. There are some companies that actually do photo etch for ships.
There's one company that Ted can't pronounce.
Edward.
There you go.
Edward.
Very good, Ted. You've been practicing, I can tell.
I still say it's Edward.
Edward.
Yeah, because it's not a W, it's a U, so it's Edward.
Question for probably more the chat, because I haven't got a clue, and I don't know if Ted will, but John Savage says, "Looking to build a Eurofighter Typhoon. Who does the best kit?"
I built the Eurofighter Typhoon, and I actually built the Revell one, and it was a pretty good kit. So
that's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tamiya do one. I would have guessed that Revell do one, and Airfix probably do one.
I think they do a 1/72 scale one. They do.
I think the advantage of I was about to say the advantage of the Eurofighter Typhoon is it's not like something that they have a 30-year-old tooling of, because it's a relatively modern plane. But then again, they've been building it since like 1936, so there probably are a lot of really old bad kits of it out there.
One thing about the Revell Eurofighter, it comes with a lot of options. I built the 2-seater version. There's 2 versions, the single-seater and the twin-seater. I built the 2-seater version, and there's a stack of options for a weapons load in the kit. So and it does polish up quite well. It goes together. Take your time with it, and it goes together quite well. But bear in mind, although they are cartograph decals, there is hundreds of them. So if you're not into decals, go somewhere else.
A bit like the Phantom, there's like 1 million decals. TK knows all about that.
Yeah.
Going back to vinyl seats, Tony Black says, "Lol, my Mark III Cortina was like that." Tony, you're now my hero because I've always wanted a Mark III Cortina.
I had a Mark III Cortina.
Oh, Ted, you're my hero as well.
Yeah, I had a Mark III, hand painted in blue when I got it. Was already been hand painted.
Brush or a roller?
Yeah, I think it was a brush because it still had the brush marks in it. Didn't have a heated rear window, so I put one of them in. You know, one of them. You remember the stick-on heated windows?
Yep.
Yeah, you could roll them off a sticky rope, stick them on. I put one of them in. It didn't have central locking, so I put an alarm on it. I made my own alarm. And it wasn't until I put it in and it went off that I realised I'd wired it wrong and couldn't switch it off.
Ted, obviously being a professional electrician at the time.
Yeah, I designed my own circuit and everything else, but I hadn't. It worked on a little solenoid, and I hadn't worked. I'd sort of done the wiring the wrong way around, so the solenoid just stayed on all the time. It didn't drop out. So yeah.
Ted, you're not inspiring me to have any faith at all in our entire nuclear submarine fleet, seeing as you worked on them.
Yeah.
Don't tell me things like this.
It's just the circuit. When I did the box, it was about that big to contain.
Somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic now, there's like a destroyer going across the ocean, and the captain's there saying, "Right, we can't find this submarine. It's not come up." And he's like, "Hang on, I'll get the sonar on it." Right, I can hear an alarm going off. It's about a mile down. It's about 10 miles in that direction. There you go. Yeah, I would love a Mark III Cortina. I love my Landy, but I don't know why. I just love a Mark III in good nick, obviously not a shed.
It was brilliant. It took me all over that car, and it was a 1300, and I think in them days we got down to London on about a £5.
Wow. Because I mean, there was the 2 litre on the 2000 GLX, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had the basic model, and you started going up after that, where it got twin headlights and different grills, and a vinyl roof and
vinyl roof. I would love one just because I love old cars where it's all big. We talked about this last week, but I would love a Mark III Cortina. That would be my dream car, apart from the Land Rover. That's not really a car, so.
Right, back to the questions. Yes. We're digressing again. Michael Jackman says Trumpeter Eurofighter, but it's pricey but worth it. So there's one to bear in mind.
New Street TMD says, "What's the best bench work light? Mine has given up, so I need a new one." There's a million different things out there. The only thing I'd say is, for the sake of your eyes, go for LED, so you're not having to replace the bulb every day, because bulbs won't last very long. LED will last you for a long time. But also try and get something that's got daylight LEDs on it. Mine are, you don't see, they're not on at the moment. You can't see this one. That one behind's me not on. But these are daylight. They're actually adjustable as well. And I would tell you what they are, but they don't exist anymore, so there's no point me telling you. Yeah, just go for something that's got LED and is preferably daylight bulb or daylight LEDs, because then it's a bit more easy on your eyes. I've got the one I've got, actually, you can change it to go from white to yellow and light to dark and bright to not bright. But that's, if you're painting, you want to see exactly what the colours are. So try and go for a daylight bulb.
Yeah, there's plenty of hobby lights around, and they sell them specifically from hobby stores. But because they're sold from hobby stores, they're expensive, because once you put the tag hobby onto something, it almost doubles in price. But if you have a look around at general lighting stores, I don't know, Debenhams or anything like that,
even Home Base and places like that,
yeah, you'll often find them in the lighting aisle, and that's sort of half the price, and they're just as good. Yeah, but LEDs are the way to go. They won't blow your electricity bill, and they're almost forever lasting. Yeah. So
two quick ones. Tony Black says about his Mark III Cortina, it got stolen twice and left about a quarter of a mile away each time. Like, oh, it's terrible. Let's just leave it.
Yeah, they brought it back.
The advantage if I had one now, nobody'd nick it. See, the advantage of my car having a big shark mouth on either side and being painted like a rat rod is nobody's going to try and steal it, because... Hi, is that the police? Yeah, my car's been nicked. You'll know it. It's blue with a shark mouth on it. You can't... Yeah, okay, you found it. Thanks.
Yeah. Or they're thinking it's a bit like a rat rod motorbike, where there's some big, hairy backside.
Yeah, and they actually turn my engine on. It's like, oh, look, it's 1.5 litres.
Yeah.
Although the exhaust is a bit ropey, so it might sound like that.
Yeah.
Raging Bassist says, question, big question marks. When building a Gumpler, say a HG, How would you scale up something that's human-sized? Well, the trick with HG is they are 1/44th scale. So if you can get yourself a 1/44th scale figure, that's how big your human-sized object needs to be. Or the main thing to remember is they are 1/44th scale. So if you want to put something in, say, a diorama, and you know how big that thing is in real life, if you want to do something that's, say, in real life is a meter tall, then you need to divide that by 144, and that will tell you how big the actual object needs to be in scale. It's just literally, I mean, what I tend to do is I take the height of an object or the dimension of it, one of the dimensions, turn it into centimeters because it's easier, and then divide it by 144, and that's the easiest way. HG and real grade are 101 to 1/44th scale. Master grade are 1 to 100 scale. Perfect grade and no grade are 1 to 60th scale. And mega size, like my unicorn, that's the shield for my unicorn. How big is that? If you know the unicorn Gundam, yeah, that's the mega size shield. Mega size are 1/48th scale. So it sounds like you're not doing an actual figure, but something that's about figure size. So just take the actual size of it. If it's something you can measure, take the actual size of it, divide it by 144, and that will give you the dimension. So if I take something that's, I'm going to do some maths now. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
I know. I'm going to get my calculator out because I suck.
Yeah, let's watch Fox. Let's watch Fox do his.
So if I take something in real life is, let's say it's a cube. Let's say I want to make a cube that in real life is 1,000 centimeters squared. I don't know why I want to make it in my diorama. So all I do is divide 1,000 by 144, and that tells me it should be 6.94 centimeters on each edge. That's if I'm making a cube. Obviously, if it's not a cube, it's a bit more fiddly. But literally just divide it by the scale. So it's the actual length, put it in centimeters because it's easier, and then just divide it by the scale. So 60 or 100 or 144, depending. Yeah. But Gunpla are great because there's only the four scales. 1/100th for master grade. There are some no grade 1/100ths, but it'll probably say 1/100 on it. 1/144 for HG and RG, 160 for perfect grade, and 1/48 for mega size. The only exception to that are some of the Star Wars ones, which are like 1/72nd or 1/48th, and the perfect grade Millennium Falcon is 1/72nd scale, not 1/60th. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah. There are some apps out there if you want to do scales and things for anything, military models or anything. There are some apps out there that'll do all the conversions for you. You just put in what you want, what size it is in real life, and you tell it what scale you want to be, and it'll give you an answer. Or you can do it the other way around. If it's 2 millimeters, if it's 4 millimeters in 1/44th scale, what size it is in real life, it'll work it backwards as well. So there's some apps out there. I can't quite think of what they are at the moment, but I'm sure the guys in the chat will tell us.
Philip Rose says 1/144th is N gauge, so railway
railway
gauge, N gauge, lots of figures and buildings. Raging Bassist also says he wants to build a scale drum kit for an RX-78. I think that's an awesome idea. So if you have access, being a bassist, I suspect you have got access to one. If you've got access to a real drum kit, just do some basic simple measurements. It'll give you a rough idea. And just divide those by 1/44th, and then you get the idea. Then the hard bit, that's the easy bit. The hard bit is actually making your scale size drum kit. Lots of plastic tube, I suspect, for the bases. And stuff.
Varying sizes of tube. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, plastic card is your friend.
Let's see some pictures of it when you get it done.
Yeah, make sure to upload them to the gallery. Talking of which,
speaking of it, it's a good.
Do you want to pimp that, or shall I pimp that?
Yeah, that was a good lead, that wasn't it? We did well there. Yeah.
I did a little segue and everything, and it worked. Would you like to do the honours, Ted?
Yeah, the gallery. Yeah, don't forget, folks, we have the next gallery draw coming up at the 1st of next month, just in time for Christmas. That is where the gallery is, where you can showcase your work. It doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or expert. We just want to have a look and see what you're doing. What you need to do is go along to the eModels website, click on the gallery, and upload a picture. Just one picture of your model. You can load as many pictures as you want, but just one picture of each model, and let everybody see it. And then people will review your model. And any models that have a 5-star rating at the end of the month or at the 1st of the month, we will go in, have a look, and we will choose a winner for the month who can win a prize. As that prize yet is still to be announced. We're having a route through the model store, especially some new stuff coming in and the run up to Christmas, but we'll announce that nearer the time. But it's not about winning prizes, it's about getting the accolade of your model, maybe winning best in show, really. So yeah, whatever your skill or ability is, get your model photographed and upload a good picture of it to the eModels website, and yeah, do your stuff.
Yeah, the web address is emodels.co.uk/gallery, or if you go onto the homepage, emodels.co.uk, there's a little option in the menu for gallery. Just go along, have a look around, but do make sure to drop some ratings for people, because it's really nice. And the more people you rate, the Karma will make sure they rate you back. So it's all paying it forward.
Yeah,
go and do it, and you'll win some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's good. You get ideas from there as well. It made it really difficult for us last time. There's some fantastic models in there, and the dioramas. It was a diorama that won it.
Yes, it was.
Rusty's the enemy.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's good. That one.
That was good. Yeah, but you could win the next prize, and you could pick up some ideas as well.
Yep. Steal ideas from others. That's what I do all the time.
That's what we always do all the time. That's what social media is about, stealing other ideas.
Yes. We have a comment from De Triple who says, "Such das ein nettes Bild, wo Reiners Kopf drauf passt." But then afterwards they went, "Oh, whoops, sorry, wrong chat." So there you go. I'm trying to translate it. My German isn't good enough.
Mine's terrible.
Ein nettes Bild, wo Reiners Kopf drauf passt. But never mind. I'll translate.
I'm glad you noticed that and tried that, because I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah. Rustin Customs says, question, filth time.
Filth time. Sorry if we missed it, Rustin. The chat is moving quite quickly.
How should I fill a gap which is a panel line? The gap is too big. There is a fine surface detail nearby. That's the worst.
That's the worst. Yeah.
Depends on the surface detail. If the surface detail is like panel lines, things like that you can rescribe, then don't worry about it too much. That's the trick. If it's, let's see, this won't show up on camera because
rivets are going to be the hardest, because you're going to inevitably rub them off.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do is, I can't pull this apart now, but if you've got, say, two pieces with the seam line here, one thing you can do is put tape on either side of the seam line, just so that whatever you're using, like, I'd probably say if you can do that, use filler, not sprue goo. Mask off just to the side of the gap, put your filler all over it, go over the masking tape and the gap, and then give it 10-15 minutes, and then just pull the tape back on itself, pull the tape off, and you should have a nice little straight line of filler there then, and it won't be going everywhere. It'll be restricted to that gap. The downside is you've still got to sand it flat, and it's still a bit risky. You might get rid of some of the surface detail. The other option is to, if it's a really big gap, just get some plastic card, make some little shivs of plastic card and put them in the gap. Sort of seal them in place, so they'll stick out a little bit. Seal them in place with some extra thin glue. Leave it to dry, and then when it's ready, you can go in and sand it down. And then you're literally just filling the gap with little shivs that you're just jamming into the gap, basically. But when there's fine detail nearby, it is a bit of a pain. If they're little scribe details, it's not so bad. If you're lucky, you can scribe them back. And there are little tools you can get to make rivet dinks and things like that. But yeah, I hate doing that.
Yeah, you just say it's fine rivets.
Is it raised rivets or recessed rivets? Because I'm no expert on those. I think you've done similar though.
If it's recessed rivets, you could probably get away and try and drill them out again. If it's raised rivets, you can get a strip of stick-on raised rivets, things like that, or you could just bear with it, depending on where the seam line is, how visible it's going to be. There's riveting tools. Sort of try that, but really, there's sort of try it. Sometimes you can get away with actually scraping the seam line off, scraping your filler off. But it's going to be, my thoughts are with you, Rustin.
Yes.
As you try your best for that patience.
Yeah.
It's just the recess circles, which could be a bit of a godsend, really. Yeah, they're going to be easier to replicate than raised rivets.
Yeah, get yourself a little pin vise and a very fine bit, and you might get away with that. Adrian David says, I'm gonna correct the spelling and make an assumption. He says, I've never done a diorama. I'm assuming you mean diorama there, Adrian.
Yeah,
because I just did a Google search for Diramore and I couldn't find what it was. I've never done a diorama. Are there any books on this subject?
There is. We mentioned some last week, didn't we?
I think so. But there are tons. But there's also so much on YouTube and everything else that it just have a look on YouTube.
Yeah.
I actually find a book's kind of handy if it's got a step-by-step guide, but I actually find a video. I can pause it and wait and things like that. But yeah, there's lots of books about dioramas and things like that. I did one when if you look at my transit build, I showed how to do a really simple diorama just using a coastal diorama board and a mat of sort of textured bushes and shrubs and some leaves and things. So have a look at that. It's just a really, really simple one. You don't have to go super complex. You don't have to build waterfalls and caves and trees and all that kind of stuff. You can just keep it nice and simple, some ground, some rocks, some shrubs. It doesn't have to be super complex. Dioramas are great fun, and you can
don't forget the one you did for the striker as well. That was just
oh yes, that's true. I did one. Yes, on the striker build as well. The Drebin striker. There's one I did it in like a parking garage. So there's like just some simple walls made out of foam core board, and then some bits of kits that I stuck on the wall to look like air conditioning units and pipes and things. So have a look at the striker build. Have a look at the transit build, just to get some rough ideas. You can go super, super simple. There's lots of products that are like made for dioramas, like bits of wall and shrubs and trees and things like that, or you can just make your own out of stuff. Some people use things like twigs to do trees, so you can just have great fun with it.
I think I saw somebody on here who had a good idea as well the other day, mentioning no names. So he was using I forgot what we were going to say now. They were using cinnamon sticks for tree trunks.
Oh, that's an idea. That'd smell nice as well.
Yeah, an aromatic diorama with herbs.
It would taste delicious. Well, it wouldn't after you finish with it.
Yeah, herbs and cinnamon sticks, just right for Christmas.
Drinking water with a manly beard, it just... yeah, when you've got too much in the glass, you have to go carefully.
Right, we're into the first hour. Should we go along and have a look about what's in store? Or...
Yes, just to remind everybody, if you're going to put a question in the chat... Adrian also says, Merry Christmas to Ted and Fox. Thought I'd be the first to get that in. Merry Christmas to you too.
When we're putting the Christmas trees up, we'll have to get a Christmas tree in a workshop.
I've got a solution to that. Our Christmas tree's been up for about 7 years.
I know what we could do.
We just don't take it down. We just turn the lights off.
Yeah, I know what we could do. Instead of the logos down the bottom, we could have Christmas logos.
Oh, you're going to make me draw some Christmas logos.
You'll have to draw some Christmas. You'll have to change your hat on yours to a Santa hat. I'll have a reindeer headband.
Yeah, okay, I'll go and spend a few hours doing that then. Yes, if you're in chat, you want to do a question, just remember to put it in big fat capital letters so we can see it. We'll see it a bit better. But remember, there is the super chat. If you want to pay a little tiny bit of money, your comment does get blapped into a big blue box and we can't possibly miss it. So that's an option if you wish.
Just going back to the cinnamon sticks, it says, Paul Stewart says, why aren't I giving Dave the credit he deserves? It's because I forgot who it was.
Yeah, that's a logical reason.
Yeah. I was trying to avoid that, but yeah, you dragged it out of me. Yeah, so well done, Dave. Yeah. Question, is that a Zaku shirt, Fox?
Yes. Yes. It's my Haynes Manual Zaku 2 Haynes Manual shirt.
Yeah.
I will actually get on with when I finish the mega size Punicron. I will finish my perfect grade Zaku that I got all painted up and never actually got around to weathering. So I will do that. I promise. It's in the box. The only fear is now I opened the box after a year, and like for some reason the gloss varnished it. I gloss varnished it, and then that's as far as I got. So it's either all fused together and seized up, and I can't do anything, or it's all just gone horribly wrong in the box over the last 2 years. I don't know. I've not opened it in a year, so I'll try and do weathering. We'll find out. But yes,
right. Let's go and have a look at what's in store. Right, I'll have to lock it on me. Got to remember to do that. Then I've got to do the screen share. Hang on, I'll just make sure I've got the right page up.
Yes, while you're doing that, Kenneth M says, and the Falcon. No. I will get back to the Agostini Falcon when this workspace gets 4 times bigger. Anybody wants to send me 20 grand so I can do my garage up as a studio, then I'm more than happy to accept such donations. Are you doing it yet, Ted? I was filling time while you were diddling with the buttons.
Yeah, right, yeah, you keep talking.
Okay, anyway, so there's this one time in Bandcamp.
Right, ready to screen share. Press the screen share button and sharing. Hey,
Sharing
right.
Screen share button. Press it now.
Can you see that?
Yay!
Right. Going back to that one. Go back to Black. Yeah. Oh well, we might as well mention Black Friday. Black Friday is coming up, guys. 3 days, 1 hour, 58 minutes, and counting. Is the eModels Black Friday.
And counting.
Yeah, and counting. 1, 2. Yeah, it's the eModels Black Friday this Friday. As we mentioned, it's on a Friday. Set your reminders. November 24th is Black Friday, and that means incredible bargains to be had. Good job they brought this out, so I don't have to think it up.
Yeah, it was great. It's actually a proper clock and everything.
Yeah. So if you want to get anything from eModels, Black Friday is the day to get it, because there's going to be some offers. I don't know what the offers are going to be, but when you order online, you'll see down here is you'll have to use the promotional code of SALE25, and you'll get some incredible savings when you check out. That's what the text says. Hey, I'm reading this. It's really easy to do it this way, but yeah.
However, do keep in mind, of course, if you see something tonight that we show off in the What's in Store that really tickles your fancy, don't wait till Friday, because what we always say is we often find that when we show stuff in What's in Store, it's kind of sold out within, it can sell out before we've even finished the show. So when we show something in a bit, don't hang around till Friday to buy that thing, because it might not be there anymore.
Yeah. So 3 days, 1 hour and 57 minutes and counting. It's going to start. I should point out though that on Black Friday itself, if you live nearby, if you live around the corner, or if you're able to call in to eModels on Friday, because they're going to be so busy, they're actually going to shut the shop. So you won't be able to walk in and buy over the counter. However, you can go in on Saturday, the day after. Saturday, yeah, that is the day after. You can go in on Saturday, and they will still honour the Black Friday prices. So if you can't get in, you can order it online. Plus, you can order it online as well at the Black Friday price, and go in on Saturday and pick it up.
Yes, you can mark it as that you're collecting store when you do your order.
Yeah. So
that way they'll be there for you on the Saturday. Keep in mind, of course, you won't be able to use the sale code before Black Friday. It won't do anything. So there's no point placing an order now with sale 25 on. It won't do anything.
Yeah. So that's okay. Yeah. So James Mate. Not James May. James May tells me that Black Friday is one of the busiest days of the year for the guys. That's why they have to shut the shop and keep everybody out while they process your orders. So that's Black Friday.
Adrian David says he won't go on Black Friday on eModels as he has 18 unmade kits. But surely that should be 25 unmade kits. So you need to go on Black Friday.
Yeah, but could you really turn down these offers?
Yeah, like Chris says, Gross Model says, only 18.
Yeah. That's just a little pile, little stash.
That's a hit.
So Black Friday, November the 24th. Use code SALE25.
Yes.
Right, let's go and have a look at what we found in store. It was just a bit of a random selection this week.
Random selection.
I couldn't really think of a theme this week, so it's a bit of a potluck, a bit of a dip.
Mixed bag, potpourri potluck.
Mixed bag. And this is the Meng Model 135 Panzer, the Panther, the Aus A. The A series. So it's the late series of £40.49. Nice kit, and also I picked this one out because there are optional extra tracks for it, late production tracks, movable parts, running gear, which would make up a nice little kit. This is, you see down here, it's sponsored by the Tank Museum as well, so it's going to be fairly accurate anyway, but with the sponsorship from the tank. Well, not sponsorship, but it's endorsed by the Tank Museum. And just look at all those track links and track pins to put all together.
Oh yeah. Note as well the price is dropped on this one, so it's in the offer section, down from 24.59 I think to 22.05.
Yeah, I think both of these are in the offer section. Yeah, so if you want to build yourself a nice little kit or get a nice little kit for Christmas, this is the one. Now then, somebody was asking about books and things before, and this is the AK Interactive World War II Real Colours. There's been a bit of research gone on by a few guys who I will attempt to mention in a moment. I can hear Fox sniggering in the background.
I'm saying nothing.
This is sort of I've lost words now.
Words, Ted. Words.
Engage gear before the words come. Engage brain before the words come out. This is a limited edition and accurately printed book devoted to the original colours of vehicles used during World War II. So if you want to know the colour of your tank, what type of Dunkelgelb it was, Dunkelgelb, what colour, what shade of olive drab or anything like that. This is authorised by Jürgen Kirov.
Here we go.
Przemysław Skulski. Mike,
it's too small on my screen to correct you, so I'm gonna
Mike Stammer and Stephen Zaloga, with the contribution of other recognised experts on the subject.
Yes.
So these guys have been doing the homework.
Yeah, so if you get stuck with a rivet counter who tells you your colour of Dunkelgelb isn't quite right, you can point to this and say, actually, I think you'll find.
Yeah.
So shut up.
Yeah, it looks rather complicated and deep reading because it's analysis and study of colours using original paint samples.
There you go.
And there it shows you the light box, the effects of differing lights on the colour, on one colour, shine different light on it, and it'll affect the colour. So we'll go to the next. Let's see what's on the next page. Oh yeah, there's lots of stuff. All the Ariel colours. God, this is detail.
Technical knowings here, aren't we? Some deep technical knowledge bombs.
Yeah, I think it's it's really more technical than I could ever think of. Yeah, lots of photographs, lots of details, probably I would think reproduction of the actual instructions for painting said tank, whether it be German. It certainly looks German. All the German camouflage colours and different stages of camouflage. Yep. Looks like it could be a really interesting book. I'd like to have a look at this myself, actually. I'm quite intrigued now.
Yeah, photographs of real bits of real vehicles as well. There you go.
There you go. Look at the chipping on that.
Yeah, and look at that. How that whole red is. How whole red that brown colour is.
You're not getting the words out.
No, I've got your teeth in for some reason.
And obviously, it looks at both sides as well. There's a Sherman tank there, lots of sandbags and stuff on it. Granted in black and white, but I'm sure it'll explain the correct colours to use. Lots of stuff.
Looks good.
Bags of nice patina and sort of weathering and chipping on that ammunition box. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so there it is. There's the real colours of World War II for AK Interactive. How much was that one? Close that.
You've got your pick. There you go.
46.95, which it's not bad.
Down from 52.49.
Down from 52. Yeah. Is it?
Grab it while it's in the office section.
Real colours of World War II. Yeah, it could be interesting. Yeah, if you want to put
book.
If you want to tell the rivet counters that they're not right, you can show them this book.
Yeah, and if they still don't give in to you, just hit them with it.
Just hit with it. A must-have for modelers who want to know more about the real thing and the definitive guide on World War II AFV colours. So that's a note as well. It's worth bearing in mind. It's AFVs, aircraft. I don't think are contained in this one. I'm sure there'll be another one coming out for aircraft. Right, next thing. I thought we'd have a look at this. I don't know if you looked at the Titanic before.
I don't think we have.
No, especially this one. This is the mini craft.
Yeah, we haven't done many boats, and if you're going to do a boat, you kind of got to do the Titanic, haven't you? Really?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, so yeah, I got the tune going through my head now.
Don't.
No, no, no.
Jack Horner, right, wrote the best movie soundtrack in the world, and that's the soundtrack to The Wrath of Khan. The Wrath of Khan. The fact he also wrote that music to that film concerns me. He goes from being my favorite soundtrack composer for The Wrath of Khan, which is just a work of genius, to that, which is just like I hate him forever. So, yeah, we don't talk about that film. But this is another one of them rite of passage ones. You're ever going to make a big ship like a cruise liner type thing, you're going to have to do the Titanic. It's kind of the iconic ship.
Yeah, and these are ships. These were the times when ships were built as ships. They looked the part. They were iconic cruise liners. Did you know that these days that cruise liners are built for two different markets? They're built for the American market, and there's also the cruise liners are built for the English market.
Yeah.
The English market, the ships are built with a promenade deck because people like to walk around the ship. Whereas if it's an American ship, they don't have a promenade deck. It's just crammed full of cabins and casinos and everything else because the Americans like to be entertained.
Yeah, we know how to do cruises properly. Did you know there is actually a guy, I can't remember who he is, but there is actually a guy who is basically building a replica of the Titanic, a fully working, full-size, it's an actual cruise ship Titanic. Some Australian guy, I think. He's tried it a few times and he's kind of getting a bit more started now. I think its construction has actually begun on the Titanic 2, which is going to be it's as close as it can, apparently. I've seen some of this material for it. As close as it can, it's going to look like the Titanic, but obviously it's going to be a modern ship, so it's not going to look exactly like the Titanic. It's going to have smokestacks, but they're not going to be functioning. But
so
I've seen some blurb on it. It looks quite good, actually. It probably never happened.
Will it have life rafts?
Well, yes, it will have. He says quite often it will have all the relevant lifeboats. Thank you.
Whether he gets enough people convinced enough to travel on it. But
I think they would, though, wouldn't they? If it looks close enough to the and apparently the interior, he is reproducing a lot of the interior exactly.
Wow.
So it'll have the grand staircase. It'll have the ballroom, the dining room, and he's having it reproduced as closely as he can.
Wow, brilliant.
I think
I'd like to see that.
I can't remember what it is, but I think he actually bought the White Star Line or something like that. He's some billionaire.
Oh, well.
He owns the White Star Line, even though I might be wrong. It's something like that.
Something to Google later on.
Yeah.
Well, this is the Minicraft Deluxe Edition with etched part. Whether that's one etched part or it means
it's got one single solitary etched part.
Yeah, so if you have trouble with etched parts, this has just got the one.
Yeah, it's got like 49 davits and only one of them is photo etched. The rest are all non-functioning, just like the real thing.
Yeah.
Wait, too soon? I don't know.
Yeah, but this does look quite an exciting and detailed model. Now, I built a few model ships in my time. This looks quite an interesting build. Looks like it's got quite a nice finish on the deck and the companionways and everything else. Moving on to this next picture. A nice display model. I don't think it'll come with a wooden stand. It may come with a plastic one. I would think it probably would come with that plastic stand, which looks good enough on its own.
Well, the little metal stands there look like the typical kind of things that shipbuilders use. So I don't know if you can you might have to ignore the base on that and assume that's not the base you get.
Yeah, a little bit of close up on the deck there. It looks like there's a bit of rigging to do on this as well. Right. So.
See, I'm not getting the song from Titanic in my head. For some reason, I'm getting the shouty song from The Bodyguard in my head, so I don't even know where that's coming from. I don't like that song either. I don't like songs where people just shout with vibrato. It doesn't do anything for that.
Right. We'll move on from the aged to the modern. It's just something we found when we were glancing through. We found Area 51 UFO. Now, does it exist?
Yeah. Now, I did ask Ted if anywhere on this it mentions sport model, because those of you who know your conspiracy theories will know that American lunatic Bob Lazar who claimed to work at Area 51, who claimed he'd seen the the alien spaceship they have there and claimed it was known as the sport model. I don't think this is anything. I think it's just a nice, funky spaceship. Yeah. Also, Bob Lazar was a complete raving loon, and it's all nonsense. But there you go. Looks quite cool. Looks quite cool.
Yeah, it's cheap enough. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And anybody that wants to do those metallic sort of effects or on a spaceship, and I don't know if there's a clear parts, but you could put some lighting in it, make it glow.
Yeah, it'd be nice to light up. There's a lot of potential in that, even though it's like a really simple little thing. It kind of comes with potential for adding greebles and details and scribing lines and stuff. So you could have a lot of fun with that. I'd actually probably paint it World War II German colours just for, you know.
Yeah, so somebody mentioned about a diorama before. Now you could put this on a sort of rubble type base.
You could build the White House lawn.
Yeah. Trump being dragged into it.
What scale is it?
Let's go back.
It's on the title.
Close that. Oh, it doesn't actually say, does it?
Yeah, because I'm just imagining it's like, yeah, the kit's got 12 parts, but it took me 5 years to build it. Why? Because I had to build an entire White House from scratch.
Yes, lots of potential. And if you want to try your C1 metallizers out or anything like that, it could be a good basis of trying them.
Yeah,
some panel lines and some weathering. Yeah, so brilliant. Just a bit of fun.
Yeah, a bit of fun, a bit of a silly fun. Nice weekend kit.
Yeah.
Sergeant Bone says at the moment he's got the music from the beginning of the Wrath of Khan in his head. You're welcome.
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know what the tune
Bobbington Watt says I have sandwiches running through mine.
I'm thinking gin.
Paul says, where's that super chat button? It's the $sign right next to the smiley under where you type. There you go. Press it now. Press it now. Dude, dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, 1/13 scale. Ankylosaurus.
When I was a kid, and quite literally until we actually popped this up on screen, I always used to pronounce it Ankylosaurus, but it's Ankylosaurus or Ankylosaurus. I used to pronounce it the wrong way around. And it's only when we got this up tonight, I'm like, oh, it's Ankylosaurus. Okay. Dude, it's a dinosaur. There's nothing bad you can say about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are better than everything.
Yeah. I think there isn't a kid in the world that hasn't actually been interested in dinosaurs at some time.
If a child has no interest in dinosaurs, you need to sell the child and get a better one. Because dinosaurs, whether you're a boy or a girl, dinosaurs are awesome. There's nothing better than dinosaurs.
Good fun. A bit of a challenge for the painting skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, you got a nice bit of variation between the flesh on the underside, the leathery hide, and then you've got the hard armor parts. For those that don't know their dinosaurs, the Ankylosaurus was a herbivore, and it used to bobble around, and its main defense was A, all its armor, and B, that big massive armored club on the end of its tail, which it would thrash at its enemies, beat them insensible with. Robert Blaylock says he once walked into a table and made his Ankylosaurus.
On that note, if that Ankylosaurus has a club on its tail,
yes,
how would it evolve knowing that there were enemies? How do you know? Does
it's a herbivore, so it would evolve to be defended anyway. It would evolve armor and stuff. The ones that had big armored lumps on the end of the tail would be able to defend themselves better and survive. Whereas the ones that didn't have that wouldn't have survived as much. So over time, over millions of years, the ones with the lumpy tail end.
Yeah. So originally the lumpy there'll have been an Ankylosaurus without a lumpy tail.
Yeah, it'd be like a worm or something.
Yeah, that'll have just got munched by a T-Rex.
Yeah, but there's one that's got its big knobbly adaptation, if you pardon the expression.
So all the others are sat around watching their mate get munched by a T-Rex, thinking, we've got to come up with some ideas here to protect ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Ankylosaurus. I like to imagine they just kind of lumbered along like some really slow moving thing, but maybe they ran around really fast, you never know.
Yeah. Or maybe it's that little scurrying type effect, with all the legs going at once.
Adrian David says if he made a model of the UFO and put it in the kitchen, his sister will think it's a new wok. Ilta van der Werf says not wanting to be a rivet counter, but is it accurate to scale?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say,
good luck trying to refute it.
Yeah,
we'll assume yes.
Yeah, the Ankylosaurus was never that shade of brown.
Then again, you see, it is a Revell, and they have their completely random box scales. So, given the fact it's a Revell, it's probably not accurate to scale.
Yeah,
probably more like a 124. I'm looking at you 114 scale Luke Skywalker's land speeder that's actually 1/24 scale.
Yeah, there you go. If you want a bit of a challenge on your painting skills and you want to sort of relive your youth and you're interested in dinosaurs, get yourself
an jungle diorama.
Yeah, get yourself an Ankylosaurus at £9.49.
Only £9.49.
Yeah,
you're not going to go wrong with a tenner. Less than a tenner.
Less than a tenner.
You can hardly buy a nice coffee from that for that.
Yeah.
So.
Now then, the next ones are a subject that keeps cropping up, and we've had a few emails, Fox and I, this week about airbrushes, and in particular the one that Fox uses, because one or two people like the little sort of trigger action.
I'm having happy moments now.
Trigger action.
It's my baby. That's the airbrush I use. My Neo for Water TRN1 gravity fed. It's got the pistol trigger. Now the kind of trigger button you use, whether you use a button on top or a trigger, it's kind of personal preference. I just find that with mine, I can't use a button because I can't bend the end of my fingers. I know I'm showing it on camera, but you can't see it. But I can't bend the end of my fingers. The ligaments just don't do anything. So when I use an airbrush, if I use a button for more than, say, 10 minutes, my hand gets crampy, my fingers get achy, and it gets quite uncomfortable. Whereas with a trigger like this, I can sit and use this for 3, 4. I've actually done like 6-hour non-stop spray sessions, which is bad, but I've done it. And it's never become uncomfortable. I don't get cramps. I don't get uncomfortable, anything like that. Nothing at all. No. So if you do have any kind of mobility issues in your hand, or arthritis or anything like that, or you're not comfortable after a while with gripping things, give one of these a try. I also find I personally think you get more control over the paint.
Now, I did try one of these at Telford, just on a guy had a stand and he was sort of selling airbrushes, and he had them all out on trial. I did actually pick one of these up. I didn't actually spray with it because I think it was empty at the time, but it does actually feel nice in the hand. It feels, that sort of
it's beautifully weighted. And one of the other reasons I love it is it's so easy to clean and maintain. It's an absolute doddle. Now, what we'll do is the next one that Ted's going to show you, we're actually going to jump between them, because you're looking at that and thinking it's really nice. 140 quid is quite expensive. It's a top end airbrush. Yeah. Not anything, if you're a beginner, you might not want to spend that much. However, if you're a beginner, you could look at the next one, which is, if you press the button, Ted.
I pressed it.
It is pretty much exactly the same airbrush. The difference here is it's a button trigger, not a trigger. It's not got the adjuster on the back to lock the paint flow. But other than that, it's kind of the same airbrush. It's a Neo. It's equally lovely to clean out. It's easy to take apart. Its maintenance is a doddle. And I personally think the Neos, I like Iwata brushes, but I think the Neos are actually really good starter brushes. They're not super cheap, but if you look at an airbrush, you're not going to be spending 10 quid. So I would never say go and buy a top-end airbrush straight away, because, as I've always said before, the learning curve for airbrushes is very steep but very short, and you can easily be put off. So I would say start on something. If you're just starting out, start on something reasonable, like, say, this.
Yes, if you start with something too cheap, you'll just find it doesn't work. It splatters, it sort of doesn't spray right, and you'll put yourself right off airbrushing, and you think, no, I can't do it. If you get yourself something reasonable and you get a good grounding in airbrushing, and then you can move on. And this one, you won't throw it away; you'll still keep it.
It's absolutely brilliant. I love mine. I mean, I've used both this and the trigger one, and I'll never look back on the trigger. But I put everything through my Neo. It's a 0.35. I use it for paint. I use it for primer. The modern ones now are solvent safe. I don't put any enamels or anything through my Neo because it was an older one. I'm not sure if it's actually solvent safe, but the modern ones now apparently are solvent safe, so you can put your enamels and things through it. So you've got a couple of different ends of the spectrum there. The top end one for the trigger, or you've got the sort of beginner version for your button. And like I say, it's always worth starting. Don't go, like Ted says, don't go on eBay, on Amazon, and buy a 20 quid Chinese knockoff, because what you find is it'll suck and it'll put you off. It's very easy to get put off airbrushing because, like I said, the learning curve is steep but doesn't take long to get over.
Yeah, and and if you're new to airbrushing as well, don't get bogged down with all the sort of people treat it like a dark art. It's not. It's dead simple. Just get yourself some airbrushing paint and just whack it in the brush and just get spraying with it, and you'll find, as Fox says, it's a steep learning curve. You'll go straight up and you'll level out. And
it's a very steep learning curve, but it's a very short learning curve. There's a lot of myths, and you have to do this kind of paint ratios and yada yada yada. When you're starting out, it's like mix the paint so it's as thin as skim milk, get your pressure to 15 to 20 psi, done. Then you can have some fun, and you can learn from there. It's just about getting paint on plastic to start with.
Yeah, and even a bit about mixing paint. You don't really need to do that. Just get yourself airbrush, pre-mixed airbrush paint.
Yeah, the Vallejo Air range are quite good for that.
And once you've got the basic techniques in it, and you want to mix your own paints up, then you can go on to mixing paint and things.
And that's when you can start looking at the more expensive brushes. So always, start out. Basically, when you're learning, just make life as easy as possible yourself. Don't go super cheap, because it'll be crap, and you'll struggle, and you'll hate it, and you'll be put off forever. But don't necessarily go super expensive. But if you know what you're doing, and you're looking for a new airbrush, and you have the hand grippy problems, I think, where was it? Somebody in the chat earlier on said they got one. And they have hand issues as well, and they say it's always been comfortable. You're not locked on used to Ted?
No, I've taken it off you.
This is mine, and I find it so comfortable because I've shown it before. I put this finger here to steady it. I use my middle finger, because that's my Xbox trigger finger, as the trigger finger, and the rest grips, and that gives me perfect stability. And instead of, if I want to keep a certain paint flow, if I get the paint just where I want it, I can hold my finger there and it's not going to move. If I'm using a button, if I want a certain amount of paint and my finger just wiggles a bit like that, you've knackered it. You've put more paint in, you've put less paint in. I just find that is super comfortable. Plus, you can sit there and make pew-pew noises.
I'm out of focus. I'll just get myself back
out of focus. But that'll do us for what's in store.
Yeah.
Remember, Black Friday is this Friday, but if there's anything there that tickled your fancy, don't sit around and wait on it, because what we've shown tonight may well be sold out by the time we finish this stream. It does happen.
Yeah, a lot of people as well are mentioning what I use. I use the H&S Harder and Steam Mech Evolution 2, and a lot of people are saying how good they are. But have a look in eModels now. Have a look. They do a huge range of airbrushes now, and spares as well, so there's no excuse.
Yeah. Harder and Steam Mech do make excellent brushes. Probably not aimed at the beginner. They're more the top end ones, I'd say, more like the kind of price range of the Neo, but they are outstanding brushes. So once you get comfortable, if you're confident in what you're doing and you're happy with it, then yeah, you can certainly have a look at H&S. I like them. I like them as well.
Crombie asks on the same note, carrying on the theme of airbrushes, asks what's a good compressor to buy. Now I've got the Sparmax. I can't quite remember the model number of it. But it's the one in the black case with a tank underneath. Get yourself a compressor that's got a tank. It will even your airbrushing, your air supply out. It won't splutter. It also runs quieter because it builds up the pressure in the tank, and then the compressor comes on just to top the tank up, and it's not running all the time and overheating. But yeah, the Sparmax are eModels as well. Have a look. Best thing to do is have a look on the eModels website, have a look at some of the get an idea of what you're looking at, and then go and have a look at some reviews on them, and I'm sure you'll find that the stuff that eModels selling won't have a bad review at all.
Yeah. And if you are looking at getting into airbrushing and you're really not sure what you want, don't be afraid to drop the guys at eModels a quick email, sales@emodels.co.uk. I can promise you they won't just sit there and sell you the most expensive airbrush and the most expensive compressor. If you tell them what you're looking for and give them your budget, they'll see what they can sort out that's going to work for you, because they only sell the good stuff. They don't sell really cheap, crappy Chinese knockoff type airbrushes. They sell the good stuff. My compressor itself was actually sent to me. It was gifted to me, and it's actually American. I think it's a standard sort of third-party type make. I don't know what it is. It's unbranded, but it works beautifully. I had to get a voltage converter because I tried running it on 240 volts and it was like burning. So I don't know what mine is. But Sparmax and Iwata do some really good compressors. The most thing to look for, like Ted says, is if you can get one with the tank, that's brilliant. If you can't get one with the tank, get yourself a very long hose. The reason you want a tank or a very long hose is, like Ted says, when the air comes out of the compressor, it tends to be like that, in little puffs of air. The tank actually stops that happening. It builds the air up and feeds it out. And a long hose will have the same effect. Just gives you a more smooth paint effect.
Lynn, she says she doesn't think eModels was shipped a compressor to the USA. Have a look, ask them. They might.
Ask. It's always worth asking. They might not, but
yeah, they might not.
Asking. There are limitations as to what they can ship overseas, not because they don't want to, but because legally there's certain things, like they couldn't send aerosol cans overseas because it's prohibited. So,
yeah. But yeah, as Paul Stewart says, ask them anyway. Even if they can't ship it, they may be kind enough to give you some advice. I'm sure they will.
They're more than happy to help out. They will look after you. The guys at eModels are awesome.
Yeah. Right, that's what's in store. I have another email that's just come through. It's from Jamie Bourne. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Ted and Fox. I'm inquiring to know what colours I should paint his 135 German tank crew for the Men King Tiger. I think I would go with black for that. I think most of the Tiger tank crews were in black. Somebody might correct me. And what colour would the tracks be? For tracks, I would start with a metallic undercoat. Then go across them in a brown sort of type rust colour, and then just chip off the contact points. If you have a look on my Panzer build, I can't remember what episode it is. I will show you how to do tracks.
One of many hundreds of episodes.
Yeah, there was a lot of them.
Yeah. Just another little thing, a couple of little quick things. Gareth Redphone's put a little super chat up. Thank you for a great show. So thank you very much, Gareth.
Thank you very much.
Pete will appreciate that. Yeah, Bobbington Water says, wow, that's big. Yeah, that's what happens when you do a super chat. There's no way we can miss those. So if you have something you really need to ask us, do feel free to use the little super chat button at the bottom. It's completely optional. Yeah, with the Panzer uniforms, they were typically black, but if you're painting black, you're probably better to start painting them with a dark grey colour and then do some shading with, say, black washes and things like that, or black, or, you know, dry brushing. Because if you paint something black, you can't then put a wash on it to darken it. So, yeah, go for a dark grey colour first and darken it from there. Don't just paint it straight out. But yes, they were black. Yeah. Not always, but most of them. Tony Black says, black with rose pink edging on the uniforms and grey shirts. It should give you colour call-outs in the instructions, but if ever you're stuck, Google is your friend. Just have a look on the Googles.
Yeah.
There'll be lots of, I need to instrumentation then. Lots of documentation on colours and things like that for uniforms and stuff.
Yeah, there's many people who have done those tanks and crews, so there'll be no shortage of references out there. Yeah.
I have to say as well, I do actually adore the little smileys on this chat. Because they're not looking round smileys, they're like kind of like somebody squished them a little bit and they're kind of a little flat on the bottom and they look kind of like a blob. I love the little smileys, they're all kind of squidged.
Right.
Thank you, Gareth.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Right, what do we need to do now? Should we give away last week's?
Yes. Just very quickly, Lynn Dibble says, what time does this awesome show start in the USA? I don't get home after 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time. We start at 9 p.m. on a Monday, 9 p.m. GMT. So I don't know what that will be. Mountain Time, I'm going to guess on the West Coast.
Mountain Time? I've never heard that one before. Mountain Time.
The West Coast? That's up north on the way. Is that the Northwest area?
You
live up in the Rockies. Oh, there you go. All the little smileys. Look, they're all like little squish.
Right.
I love them.
Great. Sorry.
It's always 9 p.m. GMT.
Yeah, 9 p.m. GMT. If I wasn't really lazy, I'd try and convert it, but there's that many different time zones around the world. Yeah.
Plus, you've got to take in summertime. And Paul Stewart says, Lynn, this specific show, we're at Eastern Standard Time minus 5 hours. 4 p.m. EST, says Michael Jackerman. Lynn Nickel says, no, in the Rockies. West Coast is Pacific Time. But the mountains are on the West Coast, aren't they? Or they kind of not in the middle. Is my American geography being rubbish?
I don't know.
Rockies are on the sort of western coast. They're not in the middle or on the east coast.
America's a big place.
Well, yeah, I know that. Oh. Hello. There's Dr. Harbour Board.
Hello. Hi. Sorry, I can't hear you. It's a karaoke, I think.
Oh God, are they singing ABBA again?
Yeah. Whoever's singing Waterloo, no, it's just not doing it.
It's not doing it.
Yeah. You're in the yacht club, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't forgot. Yeah, I'll tell the guy. Yeah, I'll tell them. Yeah. Good luck for that as well. Yeah, on Wednesday, yeah, on Wednesday, these guys are going to the Digital Entrepreneur Awards. The finalists. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, yeah. What, you celebrating already? I thought you might be. We can do a giveaway. Thank you. Yeah, I've told them about the Black. Yeah, I've told them about Black Friday. Right. Yeah. What? Okay. Okay. It's your turn on the karaoke. You've got to go. Right. What's your song? Bat Out Hell. Oh, right. Yeah. Bat Out Hell, Meatloaf. Yeah, you'll be good at that. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye, Pete. Bye,
Man, I hate Meatloaf. Oh.
Like a bat out of hell. You can see him shaking the yacht hair. Yeah.
I think I like the same thing I like about Meatloaf is he's fairly honest that he can't sing and do vibrato unless he wiggles his arm. It's an easy way of doing vibrato.
Oh, right. Oh, well, we can do a giveaway tonight, but we haven't given last week's away.
No, let's do last week's and get that out of the way first, I think.
All right.
Let's keep the crowds happy.
Right. Right. Oh, yeah. I'm out of focus again. Look, you do it to me. Even when the phone goes off.
Just do it to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he did slip in just before he left there. He says there's the biggest load, the biggest ammo and AK delivery this week, 12 pallet loads.
Wow. I know how big a pallet is. Holy moly.
Oh, wow. Where's he going to put it?
Let's not ask that question. That's not for us to worry about. I think there's going to be a lot on what's in store next week. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of step ladders over the next weeks.
Right. Oh, and yep. Sorry, I'm just getting some message. Sorry. Yep. Hang on. Sorry, he's not phoning me. He's coming through on the chat. He said, "Tell Fox." What was that? I can't. Sorry, Pete, I can't hear you for the karaoke. Tell Fox the Bandai has come. There you are, folks. Yeah. Yeah, they've got loads of it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting it from the gallery. It's coming in from the gallery. It's coming live. The Bandai has arrived. Thank you. Yes. You'll get it into the you'll get it on the website as soon as you can. There you are, folks.
Make sure it's got a separate section because that's what they really want to do. Don't just lump it in sci-fi. Get it a separate section.
There you go. There you go, folks. Bandai has arrived.
There's only one thing I can do at this point, Ted, and that's a Kermit flail.
Yeah, well, yes. You won't be able to sleep tonight, and you keep.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, Gunpla is in store. Will be in store on the website soon.
Yes, it's going to make
hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to make for an interesting what's in store for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully we'll put it in a separate section. It needs to be.
You better hurry up and get that What's a Bandai video made.
Yeah, I better, don't we?
Yes, yeah.
He said, I'm going all dizzy now.
Yeah. Oh, great news! Great news! This is a momentous occasion. We should better mark it. It is 22:39 hours on the 20th of November, and eModels announced that Bandai has arrived.
Yes, so stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. Stay tuned for next week. You never know what's going on.
I just looked. Yeah, he's still in the yacht club. He's not going to do any HTML right now.
Yeah. So they're celebrating for the Entrepreneur Awards, which good luck to the guys.
Yes, good luck. It's good that they got to the finals.
Yeah, good.
Should be number one, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so they'll be all spruced up and we'll be getting some drunken pictures on Thursday morning, no doubt.
Hey, Ted, you realise if they win, Pete might send me and you a sticker just for ourselves.
Oh yeah.
We'll get our very own stickers.
Yeah. We get gold stickers.
Yeah, living the high life now.
Right. And anyway, we got sidetracked there, didn't we?
Yes. Let's do last week's winner.
Last week's winner.
Chisel away, I think.
Yeah, chisel away. Right. I'm all shaky now. I'm excited for you, Fox.
You're all shaky. I'm out of focus.
Yeah. I think will Peter be there now? Will Pete be at the store in the morning looking at a box thinking, what's this?
What do I do with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at least I know what my next eModels build will be at some point. So.
Right, the winner.
Yes, remember last week?
We from last week.
The something or other. It was the Itinerary, was it?
It was the Eternal Land Rover. Now I would find a picture of it, but I can't find one.
Yay!
I've been looking. I can't find it. It is in stock because I did see it on the website before, and I've lost it.
Yes, there is always the slim possibility that when it's a giveaway that Pete says give this thing away, you can guarantee you'll get one. When it's one that me and Ted just make up because we haven't heard from Pete and we just say we'll give this away this week, there's always the chance that by the time it comes to running the winner, it's actually been sold out. But if that's the case, we'll always send something of equal value, or we'll contact you and let you know. So don't panic too much. But I think these should still be in stock. But yeah, we asked you just to put the phrase "I miss my Landy" on last week's YouTube video.
And now, without further ado, because we dragged this out really long enough,
yes,
the winner from last week was comment number 22, and that was Jason Smith.
Jason Smith, well done.
Smith. Well done, Jason. If you get your details to ted@emodels.co.uk, and don't forget, when you do, or if you send your details straight to eModels, when you contact me or eModels, tell us what model you've won, because we've been giving so many giveaways, we forget what they are.
Yeah, so say, hi, it's me, and I won this particular Land Rover kit. Please, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you very much. Yep,
so John knows which one to go and get off the shelf, because bless him.
Yeah, we know which one to put in Gav's basket for him to cycle out and deliver it. Yeah. So Jason Smith, well done. Your comment number 22, and send your details to ted@emodels.co.uk. And I'll try and put it in the description and not the text.
Yes. Yes, in the video description, not in the comments. Ted says to me, I put it in the comments. He's like, yeah, that's like 3 pages ago. Nobody's going to see that.
Yeah, so I'll try it. And yeah, we'll do right. So, yeah, I was just checking everything else.
Adrian David say, any more mugs? Are we doing mugs?
We'll do a mug.
Are we doing a mug?
We'll do a mug.
Situation resolved.
Yeah, we'll do. I don't know if the situation is resolved, but they are on stock, and the guys at eModels will know that you are awaiting a mug, and it will get to you eventually. And yeah, we have stickers. Stickers to give away too. Now you may notice that these. Oh, that's an original sticker. I can't find the original stickers. These are bigger than the original stickers. These are super sized.
Yes,
super sized. So we'll do a mug. We'll do a mug giveaway as well, because we're getting a lot of things.
Now we've got to think of a question, haven't we?
Yeah, we better think of a question.
Okay, let's do a really easy one. Let's do a really easy one.
Right, you've got to remember that when we say goal, it's the first person that answers that we see on our chat. Because your chat is weighted towards you, you'll probably see it, or you'll probably see your comment come up first, but it's the first one that we see. And if you have a mug and you want another mug, yeah, take part. You're quite welcome to take part and have another mug. If you have a mug and you don't want a mug, please don't answer the question. Give the other people a chance.
Yes.
If you know what we're on about.
Yep. Now, don't answer till we say go. We had a false start last week. So don't answer till we say go. And we chat differently. So remember, you see the chat tailored to you. We see the chat as it actually is. So we will see the first one. So here's the question. In World War II, there were many different colours of paints used on many different vehicles. But when we showed you a boat a little earlier, which boat was it? Go. There you go. It's a confusing question. I tripped you up there.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
I thought I'd do a little handbrake turn in the middle there, just to confuse you. They're thinking.
Yeah, because people would start typing one number. We've got to spell it right. There it goes. Alan Clark spelt it right, and it was Titanic.
Yay!
Adam Clark. Sorry, Adam Clark. Thank you. Send your details to ted@emodels.co.uk. Need your address, and yeah, fire it across, and we'll get you.
I'll put that in the. I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah.
On my loud keyboard.
Yeah.
ted@emodels.co.uk.
Thank you very much. Right. I'm sorry. I'm just checking that we haven't got any more messages come in.
Was that for the mug or the sticker? That was for the mug, wasn't it?
That was for the mug. Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, should we do another one for the sticker?
We'll do some stickers.
Let's do some stickers.
Right. Right.
We have this thing of looking around where we are just to see if we can find to inspire a question.
Right, hang on. Right, simple question. Short while ago, we had contact from Pete at the yacht club. He said he had how many pallets being delivered for a sticker? Go.
Oh God, I can't remember that. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
I forgot that already, and I was listening.
How many pallets? If you don't know, just guess at the number.
Spiddy Kate typed already. Says, bugger, I'd already started
straight in there. It says Nick McVeigh. Nick McVeigh says 12 straight in. Well done, Nick.
Well done, Nick.
Ted at eModels.co.uk. Send me details, and you could have a special eModels sticker.
Yes, quite funnily, when I was doing my little handbrake turn question, Spiddy Crate says, bugger, I'd already started typing Dunkelgelb. Unfair U-turn.
Yes, I see what you did there. It was good. Yeah, good one.
I have my moments.
Well. Right. What else were we doing? Any more questions from you guys out there? We've got a little bit of time left here.
Have we not actually got a giveaway to do, Ted? An actual giveaway?
Oh, yeah. I better go find some, haven't I? Talk to them. I'll go find it.
Oh, well, you know what we're giving away, don't we? Is this one of our whim?
Yeah, we're going to do another giveaway. I've got to go find it.
Yes, okay. Well, while we're waiting for Tedward, Chris from Gross Models, we love him, says, question, how can you be surprised that you need to ask a question every week? Big squishy smiley. We're idiots.
It sneaks up on us.
So we do it with a plum. That's how it works. I'm just seeing if there's any other questions come through. Make sure Fox don't buy all the Gunpla.
Yeah, I think you'll be down.
If I'm doing them builds free models, I'll just get them.
Will you?
I have to give them back. That's the downside.
Will there be a coincidental trip to eModels to take your?
Oh God, I hadn't thought about that. I'm going to have to take my Eagle back to eModels, which means I'm going to have to accidentally fall over near the till, and accidentally my card will fall out of my wallet, and accidentally type a PIN number into the.
Well, it'd be contactless these days, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's even easy to fall past the till, going, "Oh, I've slipped." Paid for.
Oh no.
So yeah, I can imagine when I do take the Eagle back to the eModels, yeah, there's going to be some spending. Update on that. I'm hoping that me and Tony doing the tank on eModels, the other eModels builder, Tony and Anthony, the two guys that do videos. We do try and get Tony and Ant on the show. It's just scheduling for those two guys is a bit of a nightmare at the minute with jobs and work and family and everything else. So we do try, but more often than not, this time on a Monday night, they're not free. But hopefully Tony and I are going to go down to eModels in December at some point, because I need to take my Eagle back, and he's got his tank and some other bits and bobs. He needs to take back his Terminators. So yes. Paul Stewart says, question, can you recommend any really complicated 1144th tall ships with lots of rigging and difficult fiddly bits? Cookie Sark.
All of them.
Yep, all of them, basically. Asking for a friend. I suspect Paul might be buying Chris a model at some point.
Right. I think I found one.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, something different.
Michael Jackman says, come on, Ted, I want the Titanic.
Right, I found something that could be of interest, and it's quite nice. I think I actually spotted it before, and then we dismissed it from the chat from the what's in store. Right.
Before you got to that very, very quickly, because I can answer this very fast. Michael Brown says, can you add a few drops of paint to the white primer to colour it? It will affect the primer. Yes, you can. It's a brilliant idea, especially if you're painting a white model with white primer. Put some red in it, make it pink. You can see where the primer is. Yeah, that's
a good tip. That's a tip I heard from one of these aged boatmen on the beach at Walney, painting his boat. Always put a drop of white.
Painting his actual boat with actual
boat,
paint.
actual paint, real boat. Yeah. Right. Thank you, Nick. Got your email. Yeah, we'll have read that in a moment. Hang on. I've got another message.
Oh, Ted, you're killing him with suspense.
Right. I've got you.
You are being cruel.
Home. Right. We're gonna give. Right.
Have you locked it to you, Ted?
Lock it to me. Hang on. I've got too many buttons to press. Too many things to do.
Don't press that one. Don't press that one.
Don't press that one. Not the red one. Right. I'll lock it on me.
Yeah, don't press the make people swear button.
Share the screen share, and I will reveal that we are going to give this away, the self-propelled anti-tank gun, the Archer.
Sweet.
Yeah,
everything that.
Yeah, had a delivery today, I think. A load of these arrived. This is the Tamiya one, the 135 scale self-propelled anti-tank gun.
Can't go wrong with the Tamiya.
Can't go wrong with the Tamiya.
One of the best 135th figures you're going to find.
Right. So, right, we'll give this away, and all you have to do is
a phrase, haven't we?
Yeah, I've got a phrase. All you have to do is comment on the video at the end of the stream when this is finished, and it pops up on YouTube. It renders and it does all its other stuff in the background. A short time after we finish, it'll pop up. Then all you have to do is comment below the video. This is so that all of you who can't get into chat but still like to get involved and want to take part in our giveaways, all you have to do is comment with the comment for the guys on Wednesday. Good luck eModels. Yeah, I think we had this last year, didn't we? So yeah, good luck. Yeah.
So good luck eModels.
Good luck eModels.
So as Ted was saying, as soon as we stop broadcasting tonight, it's about 10 or 15 minutes before it goes live on the eModels YouTube page. So don't comment in chat. Comment on the video. So about 10 minutes after we finish, go to the eModels YouTube page. It'll be there on the front page. What's the titles for tonight's show?
I forgot. Oh, wow, 32 weeks.
Oh yes, 30. Yeah, we've done 32 live shows.
32. Yeah, this is our 32 weeks.
Yeah, this is our 32th episode. So yes, so give it 10 minutes. Go to the eModels YouTube page. It'll be on there. Put the comment on there saying "Good luck, eModels." Then we will do the random pull on Monday before the show next week, and somebody will win this Tamiya goodness. Tamiya do such good AFV kits.
Yeah, that's quite nice. Yeah, I think my son has got the Marder.
That's a good old Tamiya kit.
I think that's the German version of it. I'm just trying to look under the bench to see if I find it.
Oh, look, we're all going German in the chat here.
Yeah, it's sort of that's a German version, isn't it? Really?
Yes.
The Archer, I would think, something like that. Self-propelled gun. Yeah, so I think that's a good kit. Yeah. So that's what you're going to do. Just comment below as you are. Yeah. As Adrian Davis said, 32 for me and 31 for Fox.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, we've got a bit Germanic in the chat. Sergeant Bone says, "The triple, ja, aber die sind ganz gut." And the triple says, "Hier, sonst würde ich nicht bauen wollen."
Yeah.
I wish I could translate it. I can say it, I just can't translate it. I really do wish I could. I wish I'd learned German at school, not French, because German to me just sounds much more cooler than French. French is boring. German is like.
Question. He's answered it himself. What does DAC mean? Dirty and knackered?
Yes. What does it actually stand for? I know it's Africa. It's Africa
Deutsche Afrika
Corps.
Yeah.
I think it's Deutsche Afrika Corps.
Yeah.
Generally for German desert colours.
Yeah. And if you bought that book from AK, you'd find out all the colours.
Yeah, Nick McVeigh says his missus is German and he can hardly speak a word of it. Oh, he should learn. I really need to. I will at some point learn to speak German. I would love to speak it because it sounds fantastic. It's so mechanical and correct. And das ist richtig.
Yeah, I did learn German, a little bit of German at school, and then I went to night school to learn German because I thought it would be a good thing to learn another language. And no, I now just shout.
Yeah, I'm thinking German with a Cumbrian accent could be interesting. The only thing I can say about 3 phrases. Well, I've got 3 or 4 phrases that I learned from playing Medal of Honor games. I'll be honest, and I know 1 song in German, a wartime song, and that's it.
Well, the only German I know is from the Victor comics, like "Achtung, Spitfire," or "For you, the war is over."
Donner und Blitzen.
The war is over, Tommy.
While I'm flying my plane, I wouldn't be shouting thunder and lightning. But there you go.
Right, that's our 2 hours up. Is there any more questions from you guys?
Yes, any more questions? Yeah, dear Fox, de kann dat ganz gut.
Camarade, Camarade. Yeah, that was in the Victor comics as well, wasn't it? And the Commando comics. Remember them little comics you used to get? Commando.
Battle action comics. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that another human being has remembered those. They were these beautifully painted color front covers, and inside they had the most fantastic, scratchy black and white art. If you're a boy or maybe a girl, but if you grew up in the 70s, you'll remember things like Battle Action Comics and Commando. The artwork was fantastic. They were dead corny. The artwork. I found one a few years ago and I've got it somewhere. And I just leafed through it and the artwork is so scratchy. It's brilliant. I adored it.
Yeah, one thing I did like about them was the artwork, actually, even then days when I wasn't really looking at that sort of thing. But yeah, I even realised then it was good artwork, and it was good actually to copy. You could copy it. Yeah.
But yeah, the German in that was, yeah, let's not assume that's actual German. I don't.
Yeah, but some of them, they actually told real stories, didn't they? They actually told real events through the war, and I suppose they had
a bit of flim flam thrown in.
Yeah, they had to condense it to get it in the books.
Sergeant Bone says I got the pronunciation. I do the pronunciation pretty good.
I
don't know. I mean, I know. I can't really speak it, but I do like to think I can just about pronounce some of it. Adrian Davies says, has Ted got a Gundam on the shelf behind him? Yes,
I have. Yes, I have. Yeah, there's lots of little bits still hanging up there on the shelf.
Missing a head.
Yeah. He's in there.
Oh, no, he's not. There he is.
There he is. Yeah.
That's Ted's HGX here.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, what Fox
Exia.
Exia.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I really. Yeah, if you haven't built a Gundam before, and I'd never built one until that.
You won't build one again now. What did you bang it on?
It falls apart. Hang on.
And I think it's all over. It is now.
You can build it in bits.
Put it back into bits.
I must admit, if you haven't built a Gundam before, and eModels are getting these little guys in, they're
getting big ones as well, not just little ones.
I'm sure they'll have some of these guys in. They're great fun. Build one, and you'll excuse me, you'll find out what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, they're good little palette cleansers if you're used to doing your complex, heavily painted jobs. You can just have fun with them.
Yeah, you can build these in the afternoon. Get your son or granddaughter or whatever, get them with you and build one, and yeah, they're good fun.
Yeah, Michael Jackerman says he bought a compendium book of Commando comics last year.
Oh yes, I've seen that. Yeah, it's cracking.
Well, I've got to tell you, although much as I love those Commando books, and we're doing, there you go, back together. As much as I love, it's Gundam and everything. It's not my favourite Gundam though. Got to tell you, Exia. Now, if you built a strike, much as I love those comics, there is one comic series. It's not really a comic series. It was released as a book that will always be the pinnacle of 70s comics for children to me, and that was, and most people won't know what this is, but there was a series of comics made into a book called the Trigon Empire.
No.
And these weren't just drawn comics. This was the days like Dan Dare was. You remember how Dan Dare was a fully painted, each panel was fully painted. It's the same thing. Every panel was fully painted, like proper, really complex artwork. And these things, it was like that thick, the book. Beautiful. Go and look up the Trigon Empire. My favorite book in the whole world. Terrible story, but beautifully painted. Somebody spent a long time making that. Ted says Black Friday by glue.
Yeah, glue. Yeah, glue it together. Can you glue these?
If you want to, but you don't need to. They are actually push fit.
Yeah.
They're all posable, and you can move the fingers and arms and hands, so you don't actually need to glue them at all.
Well, yeah. So come in a box, and by lunchtime you've built it. Then you can take it all apart again and paint it.
Give me some more German in the chat that I can pronounce just for fun. Yes, I know one song in German. It's a wartime song.
Judge Dredd.
Eh?
So Adrian David mentions Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I was never really into Judge Dredd. I appreciate it now as an adult, but as a comic reader as a kid, I was never really into it that much. I thought it was a bit silly. I actually like the Judge Dredd film. Was willst du hören, Fuchs? Was willst du hören, Fuchs? I'm not sure.
Yeah. That was another one from the Victor comics. Achtung meinen.
Achtung meinen, Vorsicht, Granate. Achtung, schwarze Freitag bei eModels, which means, hey, Black Friday at eModels. Achtung, attention.
Oh, right, yeah, that's a good one, Sergeant Bones, yeah.
Schwarze Freitag bei eModels.
Do you remember the Look and Learn magazine?
Yes.
I think yes.
I do, but I don't.
Now you've mentioned it, it's sort of going around the back.
I do remember it. I think actually the Trigon Empire was serialized in the Look and Learn magazine. There you go. Groß Käse Schnitzel bitte, says yes. Very good, Paul. Family friendly, remember.
I used to get the TV21 comic, says Tony Black.
Yeah, I never had that one.
Right.
Did I say Chris? I meant Paul. Sorry. I do that every time. I always get Paul and Chris mixed up. Sorry. It's because I'm excited about Gumplers. Yes. Well, I think what we'll do is once they've actually gone into stock and everything, like in the next week, I would guess maybe, I'll maybe talk about them a little bit on the show just for 5 minutes to give people an idea. Yeah. And then I'll talk about them on every other show forever. All the time.
Yeah, I think one will feature each week in What's in Store.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny.
If they do go in stock next week, I reckon we do a Gumpler thing next week for the What's in Store, and maybe just throw a tank in for...
do we have to knock up Gumpler suits out of cardboard boxes and things?
Yeah. Well, we'll do all Gumpler, but we'll maybe throw a tank in for the normals, For...
Yeah, maybe you'll have to get to work on that video. This is Gumpler, stage 1. Right.
Gumpler bauen.
Right.
Die Sendung hat bald erreicht. Das stimmt.
My brain's gone. Right, I'd better go and let Fox have a few sleepless nights while he thinks about Gumpler. He can't think, he can't sleep because his brain's just full of Gumpler. And what can
I've just got to hope now that all the kits he's ordered aren't ones that I don't want to build, because that's going to suck.
That and 12 pallets of AK and MiG stuff coming in as well.
I know. That's going to be a lot of weathering happiness there.
Yeah, we're not going to have enough space.
I don't know where he's going to put them.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll have enough space on the live stream to put it all in.
No,
it's going to make What's in Store a little bit easier for the next few weeks.
Yeah, that might be. This week we're going to do more ammo and AK weathering products.
This week we're going to use ammo and MiG on a Gumpler.
What they don't know is it's actually 12 pallets of Starship filth.
Nate Bliss says he's just ordered Stingray box set.
I've actually watched. What am I watching? Are you binge watching anything at the minute, Ted? I'm binge.
I don't have time to binge watch. Really, I've got to sort of. It's like reading a book. I can pick up a book and I'll read a book and then I'll read another one and another one, and then I'll just put them down and don't do anything. And it's a bit like sort of watching films and watching TV as well. I just sort of need to get in the mood to do it.
I'm working my way through. I've just started binge watching The West Wing again. I love The West Wing.
Nick McVeigh, sorry, Nick McVeigh says his messages bounced back. So, Ted at eModels.co.uk. Failing that, send eModels a message and they'll send it to me.
Yeah.
Contact them on the live stream. Yep.
Liz says he can't. I'll put the email address in the chat again.
Yeah. Gross Model says supplies for Professor Mitchell's next video. That could be an idea.
What was that?
Yep. With these 12 pallets coming in, there'll be enough supplies on there for some eMopen University tutorials.
Yeah, Nate Bliss says he can't get that awesome song out of his head. I've not got the only song I know in German in my head.
No, I don't know any songs in German. We're 2 hours plus this week. Yeah, we've gone over the 2 hours. Yeah,
because you guys are awesome and we hang out and we have a good time. And we didn't even spend an hour and a half talking about the 1970s.
We actually we were quite good this week, and we actually mentally steered ourselves away from that, didn't we?
I think we had to push ourselves a couple of times.
Otherwise we're still talking about vinyl seats in cars and vinyl roofs.
Vinyl burns. You've not lived till you've had vinyl burns.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I think on the fantastic news that we've had this evening, I think it's about time we drew a close to it.
Tony Black asks us, Fox, is it the Panzer March song? No, it's a song called Eine dicke Zigarre. It's kind of insulting to Winston Churchill because it's a German war song, but I just happen to know it.
Have you got leather shorts to sing it in?
No, it's kind of a jazz cafe type. Kind of interesting. I'd sing it, but I don't know if I should. So
no. Right, we'll let these good people get themselves to bed, because otherwise we'll just keep them up, and then we'll get the blame for it when they get up grumpy in the morning. The wives will be saying, "You've been on that stream again. What you're watching?
Like, why have you not done that report yet?" And it'd be like, "Oh, because of the reasons with the."
Yeah, and Nick, I've got your email now. Yeah, well done.
Somebody spelt the email address wrong, I think.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Right, so before we go and get all the stick from the other half of these people for keeping them out of bed, where you've been and what you've been watching on that video, on that computer. So this time to say good night, I think. So good night, everyone.
Yes, thank you for watching. Thanks for coming by. Remember, if you want to put a comment on the video, do it in about 10 minutes on the YouTube channel for eModels, and we will see you next week.
Yes, it could be exciting news next week.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
if not,
broke. Oh.
Yeah, there's lots of things to do yet. They've got to sign it all and count the boxes and unwrap it.
Yeah,
and
could fall out the back of the truck and all get broken, and I'll be like, no.
Stack them neatly. Yeah, or they could get there in the morning and find the truck's gone because there was nobody there to receive the order. Anybody here sign this? Anybody here sign this? No, taking it back then.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Go and have a look at the eModels website.
Yep.
See what's on there. Have a look around. Have a look at what we're showing you tonight. Good luck to the guys at the entrepreneurial. The
Interproverbial.
What are they called again?
Good luck at the interproverbial.
The digital entrepreneur awards. Good luck to the guys on Wednesday, and good luck on Friday to the guys as well, because it's Black Friday.
Yeah, they'll be working their little butts off all day Friday. Inundated,
but just think of the overtime. Yeah.
Be nice to them and send them care package with lots of deodorant, because they will be sweating.
Yes, yeah, be nice. Yeah, unfortunately,
over there, like we've had a package that's like 200 tins of deodorant. Well, I've got this. Where's this come from?
Where's this come from? Yeah, send them a tin of deodorant. Good luck for good.
Good luck for Good Friday, for Black Friday.
Good luck for Black Friday. Right, yes. Yeah, they'll all be lying down in dark room on a Saturday, but you can call in on Saturday. Don't try to go to the store on Friday because it'll be short, because they'll be so busy getting them orders out. And you can go on Saturday and still get a Black Friday deal as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just between us, obviously, just because,
nobody's watching.
Yeah, nobody's watching. We're only on the internet. Nobody will know.
Yeah,
keep it secret, just between us lot.
Yeah. That's what the 12 pallets are really. Yeah. Okay. Right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Look in for next week, because we don't know what's going to happen again. We didn't know what was going to happen tonight.
We never know.
Right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bye.
Adios, amigos.
Bye. Stop the broadcast.